And with that, welcome in to the 2025 UFL Championship game live from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am Chris Curtis. That is Tyler Falk over there. That's him. Hi. We are just about getting set and ready for the preamble to the premier presentation that is the Dallas Talons and the Dakota Rhinos. And Tyler, it's a culmination of a very competitive season, a very fun season. These two teams rising from the crowd to show that they are elite.
270 games down this March, 271. The biggest game of the season, and what a season it has been, Chris Curtis. Phenomenal start to life for the UFL. No longer on paper, no longer behind the scenes, live from, right here on VFN. Throughout this entire year, we have watched so many players come into this league, so many players make a name for themselves, so many of these teams who have with CJ Zilligan now being fully turned to life, given to the general public, and now we get to see the two very best teams in the league go head-to-head for one final game. Fire and Ice, the unmovable object versus the unstoppable force, a phenomenal contest, which really describes everything to do with the UFL.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. It's like I said, it's a culmination of what we've had so far. Let's start with some pregame thoughts about these two teams. You have the Dallas Talons. They are led, of course, by Cameron Duty. Cameron Duty, he is the one in charge of this offense. He and Travius James have been a dynamic duo between the quarterback and running back spot. But then you have Rashad Lockley come through, and he's really anchored the receiving game for this Dallas Talons team. They've also found a way to win in several different ways this season and in the postseason. Talk to me about where Dallas has been and what they are, what they've needed to do to get here.
First off, let me just go ahead and say that Rashad Lockley should not be described as an anchor. If anything, he is a rocket ship because he is so quick. He is so good at beating press coverage and so good at getting behind everybody on that defense, picking up, if not one long passing touchdown a game. He's just getting open left, right, and center. We saw that last week, of course, in the semifinal game. He'll be the one that Dakota is really going to have to keep their eyes on all game long. And if they try and snag him, we have to mention Neil Rivers and the stalwart defense tight end that he is. He's not always in the limelight. We saw that last week as well. But when the moment matters, he steps up and makes the needed plays. And if that's not enough, they have a feisty and tenacious defensive line led by Ryan Van Holten, who has gotten into the backfield on numerous occasions, including a few which we'll show here in just a moment. And then if you need someone to be your captain on defense, to really have that bird's eye view and be able to judge where the play is going, you look no further than Frank Bernstein, the safety. This team is flying around the field no matter what part of the game you want to put them in.
You mentioned Van Holten. He is really the instinctive part of that defensive line and really that front seven. Where the ball is, he's usually close by it. And he is my game breaker going in to this game and has been all playoffs long. Looking at Dakota, there's a reason they're here as well. They're a feisty bunch themselves, and they got hot late and definitely started to dominate in certain situations. They're led, of course, by Billy Flagg. And then Liam Sitz is a great example of a guy who is the main cog in the machine that is the Dakota Rhinos offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And this defense, we just in general, we talked about fire and ice to kick off the show. This is the ice. This is the unmovable object. This defense is one of the best at stopping teams from getting points under 20, which is unheard of for a lot of even good caliber teams, which we saw in these playoffs. But Dakota knows how to stop what you were trying to do. We saw it last week versus LA, a tightly contested affair that went to the very end in that game last week in South Dakota. The biggest thing for Dakota is they are going to have to rely on that offense to get things going. And at times they have. They're averaging the same amount of points that Dallas is all season. And you have to look at sits, being able to get stuff going, being able to lead with the shoulders and push forward. You look at Coco, who is a phenomenal, let's just get the job done. That's the main point of this team. We're going to get the job done. We're no nonsense. We live in Dakota. We know that these wins are going to be brutal, especially in the wintertime. We have to be hard. We have to be tough, and they play like it, and they do not give up. It's a very tough team, a very worthy opponent for Dallas.
One of the matchups that we're going to watch, of course, Eric Vincent and Josh Zirkle on the call for the championship game, and they're going to be keying in on this matchup, I'm sure. It is Rashad Lockley. He's the wide receiver 1 for the Talons. He is going up against Rick Kuhn, which is CB1, cornerback 1 for the Rhinos. That is a matchup that really may tell the tale of what the Talons offense is going to be able to do against this Rhinos defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that sentiment. Now, another big question to ask here is if they can't get the job going, and we saw the last couple of weeks, including how Cincinnati nearly came all the way back against Dallas to get the job done. The biggest you're acting like we were talking about two different things here, Curtis.
That's a fair point.
Probably. I'll finish my point. My point in it is this. Key to the game for Dallas tonight is to not repeat history. Do not let Dakota come back. Do not rest on their laurels and allow them to find a way back in games, because Dakota, if they can find a way back in the game, they might just continue to press that foot on your throat and keep you smothered and keep them off the field. And that will allow Dakota to win the football game.
I like it. In the 27 seasons previous to this one, in the Ultimate Football League, as it was known, the Dakota has not made the championship game. This is their first. Dallas made one back in season 12 of the Ultimate Football League. That is the history behind this matchup and these two teams in the playoffs. But we can't get where we are without a beginning. And in the beginning of this season, there was a partnership struck between one Cameron Irvine and CJ Zilligan to bring the UFL as it sits to life in front of you. We want to spotlight that partnership and how it began back just 270 games ago.
Let me tell you a story. I'm a designer. As a child, I created, I sketched, I drew, and my imagination took me places that usually fade away. Eventually I grew up, but my childhood dreams didn't disappear. For some reason, they grew with me in my career. I took my imagination and I made it real. I thought about letting them go, but instead, maybe it's time for the next chapter. A chapter that lives on with you.
Let me tell you a story. I'm a dreamer. I want to do meaningful things. I don't need to be remembered by everyone, but I want to be remembered. I find inspiration in other people's stories. I see myself in their triumphs and their heartbreak. Everyone knows about the big-name superstars, the multi-millionaire athletes, the super rich and powerful. They are not the stars of my story. You are. Collectively, we all are the UFL.
A football universe full of what it's like to live a dream.
Blurring the lines of fiction and reality.
Follow a league constructed on a premise that you can turn anything ordinary into something extraordinary.
Our belief built this moment. Your belief can build this dynasty. We are waiting for you.
Let your imagination run wild. Catch the hype. And don't be afraid to seize the moment.
Be the missing piece your team needs.
Be the reason your team reaches the top.
Let us be a part of your story.
I am CJ Zilligan.
I am Cameron Irvine
You are the future.
of the UFL.
Loving what the partnership is bringing to the UFL between Cameron Irvine and CJ Zilligan, and appreciate that look into kind of the makings of what we have in front of us here. And Tyler, want to go over kind of what our expectations were coming into this season. You and I really didn't know what to expect. No one really did, but it really started to take hold, and this is where we're sitting right now. Give me kind of your thoughts going into this season and kind of how they've evolved over the last several months.
Yes, Curtis. I think the big part from both of us coming from a different sim league, also here on VFN, from you coming from college Rocket League, from me going around different high schools, this was a different venture, known to both of us from Cameron Irvine and CJ Zilligan. We knew that this was going to be different. It was going to be more long form, like an actual professional, like full year. It's the reason why we have the 2025 UFL championship, not a season or anything else. This adventure that we've been on from the beginning of this year has been a wild ride. It has been filled with different little stories that have made each and every week exciting, suspenseful, and intriguing to watch. Now, it is a fun league. It is a good league, and we've seen a lot of different little inventions that have come away, like UFL Bingo or Yugo come along to really spice things up already, to make it more interactive. And the biggest thing about this league is we brought in, of course, many people from sim leagues that not only you and I know, but from all over the world to this league, but also people that have never even known what this type of league was. What looking at the style of game. It's not a live action game, but it has its own story. And I say for year one, a very good success with the UFL here in 2025.
Yeah, that can echo a lot of those sentiments. I mean, going in, it's always a crapshoot. You know, what kind of audience are going to get, if it's going to, you know, grip. And in the entertainment business, it's a lot of throwing pasta at the wall and seeing if it sticks. And I think that the UFL really has found that niche and found that crowd, found that audience that really cares about the teams that are in front of them. You can tell how much effort's in the presentation. You can tell how much effort's in the creativity behind everything, and that's a credit to CJ and Cameron in just creating an environment that is all about football. It eliminates a lot of the drama. It eliminates a lot of the variables. But what you see on the field is competitive football. You see decisions being made in real time. You see things that mimic what football should be. And that is what has created a very competitive league and really an entertaining environment for everyone to enjoy. So it's been a lot of fun. And the surprising part is just how competitive the games have been, with the different parity with these teams from, you know, these two that are in the championship game, Phoenix, Charlotte, Salt Lake getting ousted in the quarterfinals to Los Angeles. That was the biggest upset of the playoffs, I would venture. It was, you know, you didn't really know that you were going to get what you thought you were going to get 100% of the time. And that's all. There's always that suspense there, and it makes it a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the championship game has for us. And obviously into the future we go. Looking at these two teams, Ty, there are a couple of turning points that I want to touch base on, one for each team, that really set them on the path to this game. The first one, the Dallas Talons, with a big time performance against Wichita, and I want to go into that now.
One of the best games of the season. Dallas at Wichita. One of the best teams in the East, the Dallas Talons, trying to keep it that way against the Wichita Flyers. Travius James takes the handoff and goes up 7-0. Wichita's been on a bit of a losing streak. They were hot at the start of the season. They have quickly cooled down, and this is one of the reasons why. The defense nowhere to be found during the losing streak. Cameron Duty with a long touchdown run, a long run that led to that touchdown from Rashad Lockley. 14-6. Duty now to Lockley into Wichita territory. I mean, there's just nobody on him. Play fake to Walls. Blitz picked up. Freddie Grady, easy as you please. 21-6. It's all Talons. But then, 21-9. Lost the football and slow to get up, but not Wichita. The defense, scoop and score, gives Wichita new light in the third quarter. 21-16 Dallas. Cameron Duty going to take off. He bounces off a tackle and then takes a wicked shot. Joshua Durr picks it up. Scoop and score again. Wichita 23-21 over Dallas. Check that. 22-21. 2-point conversion, no good. Braylon Witten beats 3 defenders. He's gone. It's still in the third quarter, and Wichita has scored 20 unanswered points. They go up 29-21. 9 minutes to go. Travius James from 99 yards away, looking for contact, turning on the speed, down the sideline. Wichita can't believe it. A UFL record, 99-yard score, and we're tied at 29 after the 2-point conversion is good. 5 minutes to go. Travius James into the end zone, untouched. 36-29. How about one more? James taking over in the fourth quarter. A UFL record, 271 rushing yards in the game. 43-29. Dallas all over Wichita in the fourth. BK Solberg gets crushed in the backfield. And the big man, Ryan Van Houten, with a scoop and a score. Although it took a little longer than the others. 50-29. Dallas. Wichita finally able to respond. BK Solberg touchdown. Too late. Wichita is out. Dallas, number 1 in the East for now.
We're not going to lie down and take this. We are a solid team. We are a great team for a reason, and we're going to run roughshod off over you. Literally, says Travius James. And the big motivation for Dallas here tonight is to end it early. If they can do that and keep Dakota away and not let them become another Wichita or another Cincinnati, that is their form factor. That is their recipe for success.
Since that game, Dallas has been 4-1, scoring 30+ in all 4 of those wins. That is it was really the turning point for Dallas to kind of notice, like, hey, you know what? We don't give up easy. We're going to play until the whistle. And that's just that. And Wichita was first to witness that night. On the other side, Dakota, coming off a 2-game losing streak. This is what they did and what their turning point looks like as they entered the latter half of the UFL season.
Another glorious Friday night in the UFL. The end of week 12 started where it ended. Prime time. We had to show it to you. 3-0 Phoenix over Dakota. You say, first quarter, only a field goal. There's not much going on in this game. Wrong. Fumble recovered by Ndami Njuka. He's into the end zone for the score. 10-0. Then flag. Picked off. Taken back the other way by Adam Watts, 8th pick of the season. Phoenix scores again on defense. Thank you, sir. I'll have another. No, you won't. Dakota finally able to make something happen on offense. TJ Horn in the back of the end zone for the score, 17-7. The Rhinos finally have a pulse. Joe Tillo, Andy Sands, beautiful catch on the sideline. Then Tillo, 25 seconds to go in the first half. First touchdown of the season for Matthias Sansbino. Last play before the first half. Billy, where are you throwing that? Picked off, another score. 3 defensive touchdowns in 1 quarter for Phoenix. They're up 31-7 in the third. Will Edwards says, I can do it too. Pick 6 Dakota. 2-point try fails, 31-13. Rhinos feeling some faith. J.R. Lyons into the end zone for the score, 31-20. Tillo's pass, knocked up in the air, picked off. Suki Padri makes the play. We're still in the third, now we're not. Start of the fourth quarter. It's the new running back for Dakota. That's Liam Seitz with his first career touchdown. Phoenix responds with a field goal, but it still gives Dakota an opportunity to take the lead. And an opportunity they would capitalize on. TJ Horn, too big, too fast. 66 yards for the game-leading score. Dakota, 35-34. And then again, inside 2 minutes, scored 35 points in the second half, 22 points in the fourth quarter, erased a 31-7 deficit in a comeback for the ages.
Hey, that is Dakota football. They came back after being down at the half, and that 22-point fourth quarter really is what catapulted them, Tyler. They were down, not out. They really showed Phoenix what they were made of, and they used that as a springboard to the rest of their season.
I think what best describes that performance and the performances of Flag and the rest of Dakota is a very, not eerie, but very overlying calmness about this team. There's no panic in this team. There's no trepidation about Flag just threw a few interceptions. We are getting our collective tails whipped right now by a Phoenix team that, for all intents and purposes, played admirably this season and was playing very good at home. For Dakota to still say, keep throwing the ball. It'll eventually come to us. Keep running our offense. We will get points. And slowly but surely, the wheels start turning. 35 points in that second quarter or second half don't happen out of nowhere. It's the faith and trust you have in your players to get the mission completed, to continue to map out what you want to do, to say, we still have our heading, let's go, let's keep going. And they do that time and time again. You look last week against LA, against a Aztecs team who pulled off the unthinkable of just a week ago. You're thinking to yourself, we're in a neck and neck game. Are we ever going to get it across the line? Are we ever going to finish this team off? Of course they are, because they're Dakota, because they know themselves. Not necessarily have they been here before, but because they know who they are this season. They know how to win this season with this group of guys and gals.
Agreed. I like it. It's they've got their work cut out for them against a very good Dallas team, but if there is a team that's scrappy enough to be able to get it done and knows who they are and what they're capable of, like you alluded to, this is the one, and it's looking to be a pretty competitive looking championship game because of that. Let's narrow it down to keys to victory. Let's see what has to go right for each of these teams going forward as we get closer and closer to game time. Let's talk about Dallas first. I'll do one, you do one. Go ahead.
All right, for Dallas, we've been alluding to it the entire pregame here, but Dallas, you got to get out early and you got to keep the lead. You cannot rest. You cannot tell yourself, we are here. We're up by 15. We're up by 20. You cannot hold fast. And if you are going to be behind, you have to channel that inner strength that you've had, that inner explosiveness that you have to pull out in times of when you're down. So that offense is going to be crucial to this game, whether or not they can keep the ball rolling or to get back in a game.
For me, it's going to be the offensive line for Dallas. That is the key to the entire engine. That is this game for them. It starts with being able to keep Cameron Duty upright. He's got to be able to find his targets downfield. Lockley and company talking about Rivers down there as well, especially in the red zone, as a red zone sack can really turn the tables on the other side. And the offensive line also has to be able to run block for Travius James. If he gets himself going and establishes that early rhythm for them, then it can let Cameron Duty kind of let off the gas a little bit, maybe play with a little less anxiety, and it can really put the defense for Dakota in the seesaw and figuring out which way they're going to go. So that is a key there. Let's talk about Dakota and what they need to do to beat Dallas and get themselves a first title.
For me, it comes down to that matchup on Lockley. Rick Kuhn is going to have his hands full. He may be a lockdown quarter, but this is going to be his toughest test this season. Even though Lockley doesn't have to make too many catches, the catches he makes turns games on their head. He has to be able to be one-on-one with Lockley all game. Kuhn has to play the best game of the season tonight in order for Dakota to be in this game.
I like it. For me, it's going to be about game pace. If Dakota can have possession of the football and control the speed and the narrative of this football game and keep Dallas's offense on the bench, that is going to be the key for me. Billy Flagg and Sitz have to be able to team up and make the rhythm of this game go in their favor, because Dallas isn't going to beat them if their offense is not on the field. Give me some long double-digit drives, taking minutes and minutes off the clock, and limiting the impact that the offense for Dallas can have. That is where my thoughts are with Dakota, what they need to do. But the time for talk, I believe, is done, gentlemen. I believe we are just about set and ready to go for the game, the championship, on pace to be a good one. It is going to be Eric Vincent and Josh Zirkle on the call. It's the 2025 UFL Championship on the Virtual Football Network, live from Vegas, and it starts right after this.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Las Vegas for the 2025 UFL Championship game. It's all on the line tonight as two of the league's very best collide under the bright lights. From Texas, the Dallas Talons, fast, explosive, and one of the most dangerous offenses in the game. And facing them, the Dakota Rhinos, built on toughness, defense, and a physical brand of football that's carried them all the way here. It's speed against strength, flash against force, and by the end of the night, one of these teams will be crowned UFL champion. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody, alongside my friend Josh Zirkle. My name is Eric Vincent, and we will kick things off with a touchback, bringing the football out to the 25-yard line for the Dallas Talons. And Duty will hand off to Travius James to start things off, and a gain of nothing to start things off. Josh, tell us about the Dallas offense.
Very explosive, like you said. A lot of skilled. Rashad Lockley, a wide receiver, probably the most explosive player in the NFL. Travius James holding the single game record for yards and touchdowns. And also longest run from scrimmage at 99 yards. Guess what? Nobody's going to break that record, Eric.
Unless we get 100, but Travius James still running the football well regardless as he gets close to the line to gain. It's going to be a 3rd and short coming up for the Talons.
Yeah, and one of the points of emphasis we heard in pregame, it's imperative for Dallas to get on the board early, and I think a lot of that, if not all of it, starts with finding ways to get Travius James the ball in space, get him involved.
Then they'll go play action. Duty finds an open receiver, and that's the tight end, Neil Rivers, who gets the first down of the ball game.
Neil Rivers, he's been an integral performer for this Talons team so far, not just catching the ball in the tight end position, but also recovering onside kicks and contributing on the special teams front. Might be a good idea to cover that guy.
And he's definitely a pivotal part of this passing offense coming into this ball game with just shy of 1,000 yards receiving. Going I formation, Duty. 5-step drop, throws far sideline, and that is incomplete. That'll give us a chance to look at the Dakota defense. Josh, tell us about them.
Yeah, 3 fantastic defensive linemen with nothing unusual about their last names whatsoever. But Suki Padre, the middle linebacker, is great at occupying space in the hook zone. Look for Suki to have a big game. And, of course, Rick Kuhn, who's had a monster playoffs already, had a game-winning scoop and score in the first round of the playoffs, a game-sealing interception in the conference championship a week ago.
It's after incompletion, 2nd and 10 here. Duty under center. He's going to go play action again. Blitz picked up. He's going to check it down to Travius James, and that'll be a short gain of maybe a yard, setting up a 3rd and 7.
I like that. I like the creativity of getting James out in the flat. And Duty wasting no time getting rid of that ball. It's going to be a lot more difficult for the Fisters to get hands on him if he's getting that quick release out of the pocket.
3 wide, Duty going to check it down quickly and nowhere to go. Backup running back checks into the ball game and absolutely nothing doing. Loss of 5 for Walls, and Dakota forces the first punt.
Yeah, you see the pressure right there. That's Mordecai Pfister, just right up the A-gap. Nobody decided to block him. And really no chance for Taryn Walls to make a play. Gets hunted down by Will Edwards. Nice open field tackle, and a nice job of getting Dallas off the field in their opening drive.
A little bit of bend, don't break action early on for the Dakota defense. The Dallas offense stalls right around midfield, and a booming punt will sail out of the back of the end zone. So we will set things up at the 20-yard line, and Billy Flagg will come out leading the Rhinos offense.
Yeah, Billy Flagg tells you all you need to know about this team. The single bar face mask, the number in the 20s, the giant shoulder pads. This team is just grit personified.
Sights with the carry on first down there, and gain of a few, getting us a look at the Dakota offense.
Yeah, Billy Flagg, Liam Sights, obviously key performers. Sights actually had 2 receiving touchdowns in these playoffs in the game that we did just a couple weeks ago, Eric. Mike Coco, Tony T.J. Horn Jr., guys also that need to find their rhythm early in this game and get Dakota points on the board.
Dakota going heavy, sending the tight end in motion, going with a more balanced look, but didn't get the play off. It'll be a delay of game and a 5-yard penalty.
You know, championship game jitters. Nobody's immune. And just wasn't set. You had 4 tight ends out there, guys that aren't used to being on the field all the time, trying to run motion. That's tough. You got 3 seconds on the play clock, but you got to run your motion. Not a whole lot you could do unless you want to burn a timeout this early in the first quarter.
Dakota's first championship game appearance. As flag goes play action here on 2nd and 12. He wants it all, and almost. The hit jarred the football loose on the back end. And the Dallas Talons defense looks a little something like this, Josh.
Yeah, Frank Bernstein, strong safety, has really got his work cut out for him today. But Ryan Van Holten, who had a scoop and score in the highlight we saw in the pregame, is a guy who's got a lot of versatility, a lot of speed, really, for somebody that's 6'1", 283. He's going to have to try and get pressure on Billy Flagg and stop Liam Seitz. That is not a job that I would want to take on voluntarily. Let's see how Van Holten manages in this game.
Certainly not. Flagg on 3rd and 12 was looking for a little comeback route, and Flagg starts his night off 0 for 2, and the Dakota Rhinos go 3 and out. $10 super chat from Jesse Fritz. To all of my fellow UFL athletes now and in the future, it was a pleasure to join you. Let's do it again next season. Yes, let's, Jesse.
I'll see you there, Jesse. I'm very excited. What a great first season this has been. And Jesse and many other UFLers recognizing that in the chat and joining us tonight. It's fantastic to have you here. And I can't wait for next season, but let's finish this season first.
Just the cherry on top of the cupcake here tonight with this 2025 UFL Championship. Good special teams coverage there for the Rhino. And the Talons will set things up at the 26. Both teams with an opportunity to possess the football, but both defenses showing their grit early on. Duty's going to set up under center. Single back is going to be James. And James will get the carry and buried right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. Going to bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and I think they recognize that they're not going to be able to run Travius James between the tackles with the mass of humanity they have on that interior. Going outside the tackles is a good way to get him some touches.
2nd and 9, back to the ground, and again, Dakota ready for him. Great stop there in the middle, and it's one of the Fisters, Mordecai Pfister on that one from the defensive tackle spot, big number 8.
Yeah, Mordecai just stood his blocker right up and waited for James to run right into him. And that is an issue you're going to have to find an answer for if you want to run between the tackles if you're Dallas.
3rd and 8, blitz coming. Camera Duty has nowhere to go. Sack for Dakota, and another 4th down upcoming for Dallas.
Javaris Pierce on the corner blitz gets all the way in there. Never saw him coming. You can see him in the slot. Camera Duty's thinking, oh, I'm just going to hold this football. Javaris Pierce says, gets right in there. I tell you what, for a guy who's only $193 soaking wet, Pierce puts a hit on Duty. Boom, right there.
Duty doing well to hold on to the football and really nowhere for him to go. Great coverage on the back end there by the Rhinos. And now it's a 3 and out for the Talons as they are forced to punt on their 2nd possession. Another booming punt. This one fielded inside the 30 of Dakota and returned out to the 38-yard line.
And that was not a long return from Lateral Holiday, but you wonder how big that 8, 10, 12 yards is going to be when you're talking about a guy in A.J. Horn who booted a 60-yard field goal just a week ago, and what a difference that could make between kicking and not kicking.
A UFL record 60-yard field goal wide open in the middle of the field and couldn't hold on to it. 0 for 3 to start things off here for Flagg.
And that was Tyler Akins, and we've had some real connection issues with Billy Flagg, either missing receivers or receivers dropping balls, and that's something they got to get sorted out.
Early game jitters here for the Rhinos in their first championship game appearance. 2nd and 10 as Flagg goes back to the air. Going to check it down short, and a gain of about maybe 4 or 5. Actually, no, not a great spot. 3rd and 8 coming up here.
Yeah, that was brutal. I thought he had closer to 5 based on the forward progress. He got thrown down during the tackle. Now a much taller order here for Flagg in the shotgun.
Split backs, 3 wide. Blitz coming. It's going to be a screen and nothing doing there. Great pressure on Billy Flagg trying to get it to Liam Seitz, but nothing doing. Going to be another 3 and out.
And there was a screen, so like the idea is that you get some pressure in there. The problem is you're not expecting Kenny Thomas to get in there and blow that thing up. And Thomas sniffed that out from the get-go. And Liam Seitz really didn't even have a chance to catch the ball.
Both defenses continuing to shine here in the early goings of the 2025 UFL Championship as that punt sails into the end zone for a touchback. We'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, a little bit too strong for this game. And Zach Wesley, the punter, trying to get a strategic spot and did not manage to do that. Dallas ball to 20.
Going heavy to start things off, trying to get James involved, and again swallowed up in the backfield. Nowhere to go. 5 rushes, 8 yards. Not a good average using my basic math.
The knock-em fister. And Eric, we called the game when Dakota went head-to-head against San Diego, who probably runs the football better than anybody, Dakota included, and they just shut down that San Diego rushing attack, and they had nowhere to go, and we're seeing a bit of a repeat with that here with Tre'Vius James.
We are seeing that Midwestern grit there in the Rhinos defense as it's 2nd and 12. James trying to bounce it off tackle, avoids initial contact, but gets dragged down to the backfield, but I think they're going to get him for a face mask.
I didn't have that from this vantage point, but you got to bring James down one way or another. They're trying to get him to go east and west, and Dakota giving up a first down here, which is unfortunate because it looked like they had it dead to rights.
More yards on that penalty than we've had total yards in this game thus far. That's how good these defenses are playing, or, you know, how poorly these offenses, depending on how you look at it. But a fresh set of downs nonetheless for the Talons. As Duty goes play action, sets his feet, looks for a target, fires far sideline, got a man wide open. It's Neil Rivers inside the 40-yard line of Dakota, and the Talons are cooking.
Neil Rivers, a monster catch going up that sideline. There's a great look at it, just a little bit of a wheel route. And the defender totally faked out. Safety can't get over in time. And Rivers just have to make a little hop to get that ball. Otherwise, Cameron Duty put that right on the money. Outstanding throw.
Biggest play of the game, 32-yard reception there for Rivers. Back to the ground game, and Tre'Vius James again swallowed up in the middle of that defense. The Fisters are having none of it tonight.
No, and that's been a point of emphasis for the Dakota offensive line as well. Working on power moves, working on things to bolster. You can see the rip move in there, and Pfister is just throwing blockers off left and right, getting outstanding interior penetration. And you can tell the preparation they put in this week, it's really showing and paying off.
2nd and 11. Duty over the middle, finds Rivers again. It's going to be near a first down. They'll mark him just shy, bringing up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, Suki Padre putting the first hit on Mr. Rivers. And now a 3rd and 1. Are they going to try and run Tre'Vius James here short yardage up the middle, or put it in Duty's hands and let him throw?
Duty's going to throw. He's going to float near sideline, wide open, man. How did he get that wide open? Sets up a goal-to-go situation here for Dallas.
Yeah, Freddie Grady just kind of wandering around like a lost child in the mall. Cameron Duty says, why not? I'll give him the football. We'll get another look at it here. And I think he was all alone on the right side, and coverage was rolled over to the trip set on the left, which left Grady in a one-on-one situation. And as you mentioned, getting fantastic separation. I'm not sure what Tim Holloway was looking at, but it certainly wasn't Freddie Grady.
Grady, a very quiet 650 yards during the regular season. That on 46 catches, and that sets up a goal-to-go situation. 1st and goal from the 6. Handoff. And nothing doing but a penalty marker.
Another flag. This one against Dallas on the hold. That'll back him up a little bit. And down to the 16 now.
Opens up the playbook a little bit more for Dallas, if you want to look on the bright side of things. Duty back to the air. Good pocket, and he just floats that one out of bounds on the near sideline, bringing up a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Duty here in footsteps. Dakota sent an extra rusher there, had 5 on the attack. It looked like the pocket was holding. But Duty, as we noted earlier, very eager to get rid of the football before trouble arrives.
Play action, Duty in trouble. He goes down again. 2nd sack for the Dakota defense. This one, the first one from Suki Padre.
Padre just got right in there again, untouched. this Dallas line having trouble picking up these blitzes. You can see right around the B gap, and down goes Duty. That's why you wear those big elbow pads, so you don't burn your elbows on the turf, pulling yourself back up off the quarterback.
How about this, Josh? A 3rd and goal from the 24-yard line. Duty from the gun. He's going to throw end zone, wide open, man, and it's caught. Guess who? The hero of the drive. Freddie Grady.
Once again, getting fantastic separation. You can see the safety not quite getting there in time. Looked like he was going to make a play for the ball. Was expecting something underneath, and only realizing too late that Freddie Grady, once again, outsmarts the entire Dakota defense and finds himself in the end zone with the football. Touchdown.
24-yard touchdown grab on 3rd and goal is our first touchdown and our first points of the 2025 UFL Championship, putting down out in front 7-0. We've got your UFL bingo numbers right there at the bottom of the screen. Be sure to play. We're going to have a whole bunch of fun stuff here tonight. Cameron Irvine going to throw some magical numbers in the chat as well, so certainly be on the lookout for that.
And now Dakota's going to take over the offense. And we've seen Dakota trying to throw the ball the last 2 drives to no avail, matching through it 3 and outs. And do you give the ball to Liam Seitz at this point and go back to your bread and butter of keeping the ball on the ground? Or do you try and get fresh now that you're in a 7-0 hole?
Another strong kick, and that's going to be another touchback, bringing out to the 25-yard line. And speaking of which, we've got our first bonus number of the evening, courtesy of Cameron Irvine. Your first You-Go bonus number for this quarter is 20. The number 20. 20. So with under 2 minutes to go here in the opening frame, flag back to the air. He's had a rough night so far, continuing to have a rough night as he's only converted one of his passes for 2 yards.
And that is unbelievable. I think that was Raynard Nix. And flag trying to spread the ball around. Problem is the ball does not want to be caught by anybody.
Flag 2nd and 10. Throws almost intercepted. Good coverage in the middle of the defense there. Deflection and almost an interception, bringing up a 3rd and 10.
That was Darrell Lawrence with the pass deflection. He got one hand on it. If he got 2, I'm not sure anybody would have caught him.
Rhinos offense looking extremely anemic to start things off. 3rd and long. Flag with time. Gonna loft one and incomplete again. Another dropped pass, this time from Mike Coco. And it's gonna be another 4th down.
And Coco had hands on it, and it looks like this is just a hospital ball waiting to happen. You see the safety coming over, bam, right there. And I think that ball was pried out by the coverage defender also. That's number 50, Terrence Roberts. And when Roberts gets a hold of Coco, that ball comes loose. No opportunity to possess there. That's another 3 and out for Dakota.
Bernstein on the initial contact as well, so the 1-2 combo jarring the football loose and keeping flag with only 1 completion here tonight in the opening quarter. And Dallas will get another opportunity at the football from the 20-yard line, up 7.
Yeah, Cameron Duty's got to be feeling pretty good about what he's seeing right now from his offense. The game plan looking very sound. He has taken a sack already. Suki Padre getting in there, but he is throwing the ball. There's a great look at that catch from Freddie Grady. And this is an offense that came ready to play. You can't say that about Dakota's offense right now, especially their receiving corps.
Definitely not thus far. Duty, play action, fires a laser, and there's Rashad Lockley with his first catch of the evening. He is going to be the big play threat that Dallas wants to get involved through the air.
Yeah, and I think a general criticism I have of UFL offenses is that they don't find a way to get their playmaking wide receivers into the game early. And Dallas not making that mistake, getting Lockley. Nice catch over the middle, absolute dart, able to get upfield. Little bullet time for you folks. We know you like that. And Cameron Duty with another perfect throw out of a very clean pocket.
We love a good 360 drone shot in the middle of the field for a 2025 UFL Championship. 1st and 10 here for Dallas. Back to the run game. And Travius James still having trouble getting out of the backfield.
Suki Padre there on the run blitz. Dallas went double tight ends, trying to get some more blockers on the field. Yeah, Padre wasn't having it. They're doing a great job of shutting down Travius James between the tackles right now.
And it's virtually all through the air, 106-5 in terms of total yards. Travius James with a little sidestep towards that far sideline, and maybe another yard. 9 carries, 8 yards thus far, 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Will Edwards first on the scene there. He's done a nice job of playing east and west the way to the field. Edwards and Suki Padre patrolling that second level of the field.
And this 3rd down will have to wait until quarter number 2. 1 quarter in the books in this 2025 UFL Championship. Dallas on top, 7-0 over Dakota. You're watching the 2025 UFL Championship live on BFN. Eric Vincent here, Josh Circle there. Cameron Irvine back at UFL HQ. 3rd and 8 for Cameron Duty. Good clean pocket, plenty of time. He's going to throw one to Rashad Lockley on the near sideline, and that is going to be another Talons first down.
And Dakota only rushing 3 that time, so they had 8 in coverage, trying to shut down this passing game and thinking 3 guys would get there. It didn't happen. And Lockley once again finds himself open, and Javaris Pierce has to make a pretty good hit to bring him down. It's got to be a scary sight for Dakota to see Cameron Duty getting this hot this early.
Going for a heavy formation here. Duty back to the play action. Sets his feet. He's in trouble. He'll fire it just before getting hit and finds a wide open man along the far sideline. Great pitch and catch there for 20 yards to Elliott.
Yeah, Charlie Elliott finding his number called here, just as Cameron Duty's about to get blown into the shadow realm by Blake O'Neill. And Elliott making a nice little grab, toe touch. That's great for a first down. All of these Dallas drives sustained by chunk passing plays. Travius James still waiting to make an impact on this game, as you mentioned earlier.
Dakota's defense doing a good job keeping them one-dimensional, and that's the best run of the evening so far for James as he gets out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, there's just not going to be a lot of space there, but you got to keep the defense honest. And Travius James, I think, had some acknowledgement of that heading into the game. It's just not going to be statistically a banner event for him.
Offside eye, Duty back to the air, throws over the middle, finds Neil Rivers, getting to the end zone, and he is. Touchdown, Dallas.
Neil Rivers making that presence felt. And it's just another great ball from Duty, clean pocket, able to turn upfield, finding the seam in the zone. And Cameron Duty right now picking that zone apart like it is his job, which it happens to be, by the way. Neil Rivers gets his team up by 2 scores.
Extra point up and good as Dallas takes a 14-0 lead early on here in the second quarter of play. Dallas just doing whatever they want in the passing attack. Dakota's doing a great job with making them one-dimensional and shutting down Travius James, but Dakota's defense on the back end just has not been up to par.
No, I give credit to Cameron Duty. I mean, he's gone into it. He's executing this game plan perfectly. Just a lot of short 3-step drops, 5-step drops, and he is not spending a lot of time with the football. The one sack that Dakota was able to get was Suki Padre, who managed to come around the end untouched. Other than that, this Dallas offensive line has done a fantastic job shutting down the Fisters and giving Cameron Duty time to throw a ball, but he has not needed a lot of time based on the game plan that they brought into the championship tonight.
Quarter kickoff, it gets returned out to the 29-yard line. And since our bonus number conveniently worked its way into the ball game, we got a new one for you. New bonus number is 43. 43.
Very generous with the bonus numbers tonight, Cam. Gotta save some of that for next season.
Wanted to see some bingos tonight, man. Come on. 1st and 10, flag, play action. He wants it all. Throws it deep into double coverage and incomplete, looking for Coco.
Yeah, and they've taken away Coco. Dallas has done a nice job. Frank Bernstein, and then Cord Foxworth, who's had a pretty decent playoffs as well. They are just clamping on Coco right now. A lot of room for him to operate.
1 for 9 for only 2 yards for Flag. He's back to the air for pass number 10. There's a completion over the middle of the field. That's Dakota, and that's the second completion for 21 yards for Flag.
Yeah, Flag is just not going to be denied there. Sight staying in the block. And it's Mike Coco finding the seam in the opposing defense and taking a little bit of a shot for his trouble. But that is what Dakota needed. They needed a shot in the arm for this offense, and thanks to Mike Coco, they got it.
Sheldon Hastings with the shot there on the back end as Dallas nears the midfield stripe for a first down. Play action again. Flag near sideline, one-on-one coverage, and the catch is made.
I'm kind of amazed that Flag got that in there. Tyler Foxworth was going to jump that route. Coco hanging up for dear life. Toes on the field. The body dangling over the sideline. Look at this. How did he come down with that? Just remarkable.
What a great camera shot there. Gets the knee down, able to possess the football. All 3 completions tonight go Mike Coco's way.
1 knee equals 2 feet, but it also equals 1 leg.
Back to the ground game. Sights. Got a couple yards for his trouble, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 8.
Can't believe that's only his 2nd rush of the game as we're in the opening stages of the 2nd quarter here. But the fact of the matter is Dakota's offense hasn't been on the field that much.
It's been a lot of 3 and outs here for the Rhinos. 2nd and 8. Backup running back checks in. Good run there, trying to avoid initial contact. That's Lyons, who was able to make something out of nothing, gets a yard. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, J.R. Lyons usually is a fun guy to watch when he spells Liam Sights, because Sights does generally such a good job of wearing down the defense that Lyons is able to bust a run or two.
Sights checks back into the ball game. 3rd and 7. Flag, good clean pocket. He's going to take off and run. He's known to do this, and he's going to stay up and power his way for a first down. That's how you know Dakota is in the thick of things. They know they're down 14 points, and they're ready to get back in the ball game.
Yeah, and Flag taking matters into his own hands, and we've seen this backfire in more than one occasion when he does this. This time manages to hang on to the football and secure the yardage for a first down. Nice little run, nice little stiff arm there too. Julian Heim, welcome to the turf, young man. Brutal stiff arm from the quarterback.
Great run by Flag, setting up a 1st and 10 from the 24. He's back to the air. Going to check it down on the crosser and got to get inside the red zone. Mark him down at the 19-yard line. Flag now 4 of 12.
And Tyler Aiken's hands much stickier than on his first target, and that's great to see. Got a nice gain on first down. And don't look now, but this Dakota offense is starting to hum.
Flag play action on 2nd and 5. He wants the end zone. He's got it.
Got it.
Touchdown, Dakota.
Tony Horn Jr. answering the bell. And Dallas did everything they had here, not leaving a lot to defend the pass with. And Horn on a corner route, making a nice catch. Just got one guy to beat to the end zone, and it's scrawny little Corn Foxworth who can't do enough to bring him down. Olay, says Tony Horn Jr. And that's Dakota's first touchdown of the game.
Rhinos finally getting in on the party and narrowing this to a 1-possession ball game midway through the 2nd quarter. And A.J. Horn, who holds the record for the longest field goal in UFL history from 60 yards, hits the extra point and makes it a 14-7 ball game.
Yeah, great drive. I think it's what we were all waiting for from Dakota. The chance to get that offense fired up. Not a lot from Liam Sights, certainly not on the ground, but he did contribute to pass blocking, including on that last blitz from Dallas that gave Billy Flag enough time to find Tony Horn Jr. waiting in front of the goal line. And now the Dallas lead has been halved as we sit here at 14-7 with 6:37 to play in the half.
It was a very ho-hum first quarter of action, right, between both of these teams. And all of a sudden, Dallas comes to life. Dakota now down 2 possessions. This is the type of football that they play. They like to play from behind, and now they make it a 1-possession ball game as Dallas gets the kickoff and will return it out to the 29-yard line with 6:33 to go in the opening half.
And we'll see if they decide to try and get Travius James. You've got a 7-point lead here. You've got an outstanding running back that you know can break a couple plays. You just got to find a way to get him into space to do it.
Out on this first down, duty for play action. He's going to air one out near sideline. Had a man, it's Neil Rivers, but he was out of bounds.
And he was significantly out of bounds, too. You can see that from up here. Poor Neil Rivers, who's probably losing oxygen in his brain after scoring that first touchdown. Just a little bit outside on that one.
Just a bit outside as they check it down to Travius James, and nothing doing there. Good coverage on the outside. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 11.
And look who it is. It's Rick Kuhn. The guy's been an absolute monster in these playoffs. And Duty running the screen here, and like you're banking on Kuhn not being able to make a tackle, but he slowed him up just enough. Hit the safety over there. Look at that. You got 3-4 guys, Suki Padres forming into your picture as well. This Dakota defense, they are keying on Travius James for sure.
3rd and 11. Had to fire it quickly to Walls, and nothing doing once again. Great defensive sequence for the Rhinos, forcing the 3 and out, and they'll get the football back down 7.
Yeah, some people are going to think that this is on the offense, but I think we're seeing two extremely well-prepared defenses. Padres look right there, and you can see Padres shifting the feet, the great outstanding lateral movement. I would like to see him wrap up on the tackle, but if you want to blast him into the shadow realm with your elbow pads, you could do that too.
Look, I think Dakota was a little bit frustrated with how things transpired in that opening quarter, and they're starting to take out their frustrations on this Talon offense, and I certainly don't blame them. But here are the Rhinos now down only a possession. Another booming punt for Dallas, and nailed inside the 20-yard line. Mark it at the 19 for Holiday.
And now I think more so than at any other point in this game, Dakota can do what they want to do with the football. Like, they don't have to get fancy. You've got plenty of time here. Liam Seitz is certainly in play if you want to try and run it a little bit.
Flag going to hand it off to Liam Seitz, and he'll get a couple of yards out of the deal, bringing up a 2nd and 6.
And that's actually not a bad run on first down when you consider the climate of running the football in this particular game. Very tough so far. 4 yards is pretty good on first down.
Tackle made by Trevins Roberts. Back to the air for Flag on 2nd down. Throws near sideline, catch is made, and good tackle there to stop him right there. Only a short gain of a couple, bringing up 3rd and 4.
That's good. You got Monte Harris catching the ball. You got Billy Flag getting in a rhythm. And now 3rd and manageable in a 4-wide set.
Going with a similar formation on first down. Flag going to take off and run, and finds a little bit of room to squeak by before he's met by Roberts right at the line to gain. It's going to be a first down for Dakota.
Yeah, and squeak he did. I thought he was going to be in trouble trying to sneak through the pocket instead of around it. He's like a guy on the subway, pardon me, coming through, and somehow able to get to the line to gain. Outstanding shiftiness. Just watching the hips. Turns the hips and then back, and it's like a little do-si-do.
Utilizing your subway reference, almost as if he was, oh, well, this is my stop. Excuse me, pardon me, gotta go.
Very much so.
Approaching the 4-minute mark here in the first half. Flag throws the crosser. Tackled almost immediately, but it's going to be a good gain of about 6 yards, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Monte Harris again, his 2nd catch of the game. And not big, outstanding highlight reel catches, but important pieces to keeping your offense on schedule.
Going heavy in the I formation. Handoff goes to Seitz. And, oh, if he just kept his feet going, I think he would have been gone for days. But he does get the first down. Tackle made once again by Roberts.
Yeah, I concur. And I feel like Dakota is getting more brave about running up the middle here. Liam Seitz trying to do his part in wearing down this front four.
Back to the ground game again, and both defenses doing a really good job early on of limiting the big playability of both of these running backs.
Yeah, they did their homework for sure, and Dallas doesn't have as many clean players on the defensive side as Dakota does, but they are doing a nice job of stepping up and shutting down this run game.
Lyons checks in for a carry, and he'll get the first down. 2 carries, 12 yards for him, and that'll keep the Dakota drive alive.
Yeah, this might get us to the 2-minute warning. This is exactly where Dakota wants to be. And again, nice job by Lyons coming, getting a spell, and capitalizing on the huffing and puffing Dallas defense.
And that will take us to the 2-minute warning here from Vegas, the 2025 UFL Championship. 2 minutes away from the half. 14-7 Dallas. You're watching the UFL on VFX. Eric Vincent alongside my partner Josh Zirkle in the broadcast booth with you tonight. As flag goes back to the air on 1st and 10. He's going to sling it. Dangerous pass there towards the far sideline, and it is knocked down, incomplete.
Yeah, I think that if you're comparing quarterbacks at this point, Cameron Duty's done a much better job of getting the ball out. And again, flag just leaves one hanging out there, and that one he almost didn't get back.
It's back to the air again. Going to hit that crosser. This time Dallas ready for that one. And it's going to be a 3rd and long coming up. Billy Flagg started off 1 for 9. Since then, he's been 6 for 7. So he's done a good job rebounding here in the 2nd quarter.
Yes, and they're going no huddle here. That's a little bit of a surprise. At this rate, Dallas might get the ball back.
Flagg airs it out and incomplete. It was good one-on-one coverage on Mike Coco. And it looked like that was Corin Foxworth that forcing the 4th down.
Yeah, Foxworth playing a nice game so far. Flagg maybe a little antsy in the pocket there. And maybe not a great route, but not a great ball at all. And Foxworth, if he's not running full speed, he might have a chance to come away with that, even at the sideline at that point. A disappointing post 2-minute series there for the Rhinos.
Even from this vantage point, I think it would be too long of a field goal for A.J. Horn to attempt. So Dakota is going to punt the football back to Dallas.
I think it would have been a 61-yarder, I think is what that would have been. But this is a great punt if they could stop it.
Oh, yeah, they stop it inside the 5. They'll mark it down at the 4. Great punt there with under 90 seconds to go.
And now Dallas does have the ball, but they also have the length of the field to contend with. As we like to say, starting this drive in the shadow of their own goalpost. And let's see if they can get that guy going in some way, shape, or form.
Folks, coming up on the 2025 UFL Championship halftime show, Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk are back. They'll give their reactions to the first half. We've got the top 10 plays of the inaugural season, an interview with UFL co-founder Cameron Irvine, a look at what's coming in 2026, and we'll get Curtis and Tyler's keys to the second half. Explosive halftime is coming up next as Travius James gets a gain of 6, his best run of the evening as the clock continues to roll.
Sort of a paint-by-numbers play call there. When you're inside your own 10-yard line, you just want to give your quarterback a little bit of space.
He fires near the marker. That's going to be caught for a first down, but neither team in any hurry to really slow down that clock and content to go into the half.
No, I think that now that Dallas has that first down and they've got a little bit of space, they don't have to worry about the safety. We may see 1 or 2 more runs here before these teams head to the locker room.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dallas was just content with getting out of, as you said, the shadow of their own goalposts and just giving some breathing room for their offense to operate. But they are quite content with being up 14-7 at the half. As James gets the carry there, he will plow ahead past the 20-yard line, and that should bring us to the half. Dallas 14, Dakota 7 here in the 2025 UFL Championship from Las Vegas. We will kick it on over to Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk at UFL HQ in just a moment for their first half takeaways.
All right, and with that, welcome back into the halftime studios in Vegas. We have a good one on the championship game. First half is done, 14-7 Dallas over the Dakota Rhinos. Dakota was able to get that touchdown to have the deficit, Tyler, but it's been a more defensive struggle for both these teams.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Billy Flagg and Dakota's early struggles. Flagg, 1 of 9 with only 2 yards at one point. At one point, the spread was over 100 yards in total offense compared to 2 yards for Dakota. It was insane. I thought we were watching a flipped script here at the moment because Dakota should be the ones that are really stymieing Dallas on paper, but instead it's the other way around. Dallas has taken that script and said, we got this. And for the large part, they have. Early 14-0 lead. Dakota finally starts to get that ball rolling, finally gets down the field, finally scores. And now we've got a game again. For Dakota, it's early. Still 1 more half of football to go. They are, okay with taking it slow and getting back into things. We saw it earlier, especially in the turning point highlight with Phoenix. It may take them a little bit to get going, but they eventually do find a rhythm. For Dallas, that's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. Dallas now have to be wary that, oh no, it's happening again. Another team's gaining momentum again. But a good stop on the 2-minute drill drive from Dakota has really maybe tempered expectations. That defense still has played really well. They cannot get too tired. They cannot get too lackadaisical, and it could be a championship for the Talons. But like I said, the objects in me are much closer than they appear.
Yeah, it's only a 1-possession game, so they're pretty darn close is what we're looking at. Dakota has a chance to adjust and get back into this football game, and some adjustments happening for Dallas as well, I'm sure. This is game number 271 on the UFL schedule for 2025. 271 of course, 271. That means we have 270 games to look back on from the beginning of the season up until now. It's difficult, but our team here at the UFL picked 10 plays that we deem the top 10 plays of the 2025 season. We'd like to show them to you now.
Now it's a 3rd and long here. Now's where you got to buckle down.
Wiseman with time on courts this one. Deep downfield, caught by Churchill! Oh my word! 76 yards! Churchill with a hat trick, and just like that ties the league lead in touchdown receptions.
There's just absolutely nothing that you can do on a play like that. I mean, I feel bad for the defender there because he plays Churchill perfectly. Tyrone Lofton in coverage on that one, and Churchill just plays it better. You just tip your cap to him because, man, oh man, there just wasn't anything different that Lofton could have done on that play. Churchill just made an incredible jump ball play.
So we've got there goes the Flowers. Vegas has a touchdown just as I was looking off screen. That is the kiss of death if you're talking about needing some boring and getting some excitement. Frank Stearns to Ethan Flowers. Oh, Minnesota, I'm just now seeing it for the first time. 4 different defenders run into each other, and Ethan Flowers is gone into the end zone. Vegas is up 12. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in the picture, and none of them bring down Flowers. And then a nice block down the field as well by Battle. Because it is just a severe thunderstorm warning, so no kind of tornadoes or any issues there. That's a sack for Chicago. James Walters caught that on the sideline. We have to lower right-hand corner. Look at this catch by Walters. Off his hands, it hit him in the foot, and he caught it on the back end. That was Wheeler in coverage. Now, did Walters get 2 feet down is the question, but it knocked off his foot and turned around, and there he had the ball. Just going to try to get some space out of the back of the end zone. Travius James moves over 2 defenders. James in the open field. Travius James all the way down the sideline. 20, 10, 99 yards. Get out of here. Dallas is down by 2. 99-yard touchdown, a UFL record. The Talons and Flyers are off the chain. Just trying to kill the clock. James puts the Talons on their back when they had nothing. Handoff, Travius James makes a man miss, breaks a tackle. Travius James again. 64-yard touchdown. Travius James has stolen the show in Kansas. And he just set a new UFL record for rushing yards in a game. The old record was Bullet Boletsky's 247.
Well within range.
Oh, it's
blocked!
blocked. The Lightning pick it up, and it's going to be Kane Vasquez. On the field, 30, 20, nobody gets him, and the first missed field goal for Rochester is disastrous because it results in a New York touchdown.
And it's Kane Vasquez who scoops this up and runs to daylight, and nobody there to catch him. Kane Vasquez turned the game on a dime.
That was a bit wonky, and that ended up costing the Pioneers, who were just a boot away from stealing this thing, and all of a sudden, New York is 2 points away from tying it up.
Vegas and Dakota tied at 13. Play fake for Stearns. Stearns going to take off and run. Stearns has open field. Frank Stearns lost the ball. Picked up by Dakota. Down the sideline. Rick Rude. Touchdown. Dakota is advancing.
And scoop and score in overtime. Frank Stearns, you got to hit the deck, my man. Dakota, and look who it is, our boy Kuhn. Stearns trying to make something happen for his team. And Rick Kuhn, in one fell swoop, slashing the playoff hopes and dreams of the Vegas Devils.
3rd and 8, Doug Fulks going empty. Back to throw, fires into the end zone. What a catch, Tyler Fulk! Are you kidding me? Lower left-hand corner, watch this catch. Unbelievable. He reaches around the defender who's got his back turned and scoops it up and is able to get the feet in, I believe. 2nd and goal at the 1. This handoff, he flips the ball, picked up by New York. Dante Doom breaks a tackle. He could be gone. The big man. I don't think he's gonna make it. Doom, 100 yards. Dante Doom, are you kidding me? McCreary dove for the end zone and lost the ball. Here's another look at it. He dove, the ball popped out right into Dante Doom's hands. He takes it all the way. Dante, can I share your oxygen on the sideline? And the extra point is blocked. And picked up. Oh my goodness. New York's got a 2-point conversion. No way. I've seen it all. Nicholas Smith, the backup quarterback, picks up the blocked extra point and takes it in for 2. That is unbelievable.
Here we go.
1 second for Denver. Nate Hall hasn't been sacked all day. Won't be sacked here. Just lofts it up in the air. It is caught! Caught by Denver! It's a touchdown! Hail Mary for the Avengers! Are you kidding me? It's a miracle, a mile high! And we're going to overtime, extra point pending! How did he catch that amongst everybody? Durham, he's on the left side of the screen, and the ball went over everyone's heads. Unbelievable. As time expires, extra point to go to OT, you got it.
Drives.
Oh.
Gonna have to take care of the football here. No unnecessary mistakes, no unnecessary risks.
If they hold the ball for 4 minutes, they win. Duty could have taken a shot down the middle of the field, and luckily has the catch. And it's and there's nobody to catch him. 20-10, 5 touchdown. Dallas finds the end zone when it matters.
Man, you could ask Josh Circle up here in the broadcast booth. I literally just threw my papers full of notes just in the air right after I said no unnecessary risks, no unnecessary options. I mean, this is a bonkers play. First of all, you're going to go down the field and find your boy Lockley, and then he makes that ridiculous play to break it to the end zone. I mean, look at this. Great play. Holds onto the ball through the hit, recognizes the additional defenders in his way, and dispatches of them quickly. He is in the end zone. Dallas extending their lead.
And for 2 seconds, he was like running the wrong way. Like he couldn't believe he caught it either.
Wow. 10 plays that, I mean, like I said before, Tyler, 270 games, and to narrow it down to those 10 plays, those are 10 pretty good plays. And there probably could have been more that entered that list. We could have gone top 25 and still had plays left over. But what a masterpiece put together by Cameron Irvine to kind of just display the skill in this league. Give me your reactions to that, and what was your favorite one?
Absolute bonkers. That was phenomenally put together. I tip my cap to Cameron Irvine for putting that together. And like you said, so many phenomenal plays, so many great players, and we can only highlight 10, maybe 11 if we double dip with New York for a hot second. But just it just shows you a little snippet. If those of you who are watching for the first time tonight are watching this, it's just a snippet of what we have come to know, expect, and love about this league, and long may it continue into next season.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Speaking of next season, speaking of this season, speaking of all of the seasons and all the work that has gone into it, we want to take the time now to bring in co-founder of the UFL, Cameron Irvine, for a conversation about kind of what has been, what will be, and what's going through your head. Cameron, welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen, and I'm just happy that I have not been called on to have to explain what the AI is doing. It was a very smooth first half. We love that. We love that here at VFN headquarters. But happy championship day and night to you guys as we get down to the final half of the season. I don't want to waste a lot of time because we got someone to crown a champion here. So I want to talk about 2026 and some of the things that we're looking to do next year. Games will air on Sundays and Mondays on VFN, with Sunday sporting a whopping 11 games a week. People, we want you to know when you're playing. That was one of the things that the feedback that we got from people. When am I playing? Am I playing Tuesday and then again on Monday and then not again for another 23 days, or what are we doing? And now we have a much more consistent schedule. You'll play 3 Sundays in a row and then you'll be off. 3 Sundays in a row and then you'll be off. And we'll have that throughout the entire season. So you know exactly when you're playing. Your buys are all spread out. We try to do the very best we can with that and improve our schedule. Off the success of game night, we're bringing back game day to Sundays without NFL football starting in February. 5 hours of constant action. We'll reward players for attending post-game media interviews, bring back YOUGO with even more fun and chaos, and deliver consistent kickoff times and appointment viewing so you'll never be without football on Sundays again. So, if you have a big game, we want you to come on. We want you to talk about it, while we're getting other games kicked off and other games are wrapping up. Please come on. It'll benefit your player. It'll benefit your team, and we'll do that all day long. We'll just have fun. Football's meant to be on Sundays, and we're going to continue that tradition. And every Tuesday here on VFN, we'll compile a complete highlight show that whips you around the league, showing you everything you missed. Think about sort of, Chris Berman's 2 minutes, except every game gets a couple minutes of love as we recap the week. Now, this offseason, we're bringing rewards for speaking up. The Monday after a loss, we'll get your feedback directly in your locker rooms about how to go about adjustments. We'll take that feedback, let you know the adjustments made, and reward you with boosts for showing pride and passion in your team. Sound off during the week, providing quotes to content creators, earning further boosts to your team. We want you to be engaged. We want you to, say what's on your mind. We want to give our new content creators an opportunity to talk about you and to talk about your squads. And we also want to better engage our customers, our players, because this season, sometimes you're waiting on a poll, you're waiting on an opportunity to speak. We don't want you to feel like you have to wait to speak, and we're going to be more direct with our teams throughout the course of the season. Again, it's a consistent schedule, so you'll know, when you get a chance to participate, when you'll get a chance to make an impact on your team, when you're not actually on the field. This offseason, current players will earn bonuses for bringing in new players, making decisions on who to re-sign, who to target in free agency, and which positions are most needed in the draft. Now, players will be able to create rookies that fit their team's specific need, gaining ownership of even more of their squad. So think about the draft as sort of like a simulated style draft where it's like, okay, all these things happened, but these are all players that the current players and the present players, they get to create. They get to have some ownership of, so they get to say, I built that guy. I made that guy, and maybe along the way someone comes in and claims him and creates another chapter to that story. So that's a number of things that we're looking to do in 2026. Now, I also have some notes from co-founder CJ Zilligan. He says 2026 updates on his end. 8 teams will be getting a fresh new mod, the first part of a series. That's going to be interesting. That continues revitalizing the archived history of the Ultimate Football League, but with a twist. Teasers will be dropping soon on UFL social channels. And then an update on our apparel, folks. The merch vendor is selected. We have samples received and approved. Our shop is being built out, and the first rollout will be the winning team's championship exclusive championship gear. And the champions will receive that gear for winning and having a terrific season. So, we've had some apparel issues. We thought we had a partner, then we didn't have a partner, but we are good to go now, full steam ahead, and we're building that out in the off season. And it's a reality. It's going to happen across the league for all 32 teams. So that's just a look at 2026. I hope everybody, takes those adjustments and strides and sees what we're trying to do. All 32 teams will return. We do not. There's no need to worry in that regard, as the league owns all the teams. So we are ready to go for 2026.
I like it. Tyler, let's make the time for one question apiece if you've got one for Commissioner Irvine.
Yeah, I of course I have a question for Mr. Irvine. First off, Cam, all good things is what I'm hearing. First of all, I just gotta wonder, with us cutting back down from 4 game nights a week, 4 nights for broadcasters. How is this new? Of course, it's all relegated to regulated, I should say, not relegated. Thinking of a different league. To Sundays and Mondays. So how is the broadcast schedule going to work? Are we going to see? I'm doing quick maths in here. If we're doing 11 games on, say, a Sunday, that's probably 10 games, maybe 2 or 3 blocks of game day / game night, and then you have one primetime game. Where does all of that fit into this new schedule?
Yeah, so Sunday during the day, you'll see 9 games. You'll see lots of teams, over half the league in action across the league throughout the day. Think of March Madness as sort of a staggered start time situation where you might have 2 games going or 3 games going or 4 games going at a time, but they're all kicking off throughout the day, sort of in a singular place. Then, we felt like our primetime games were a great experience. We delivered a great product and a great presentation, but we struggled to capture that excitement that we did, on game nights. And so you'll see primetime games on Sunday evening with a lot more flair, a lot more presentation, and a lot more chances at bingo victories. In fact, Michael Percoco said earlier, why don't we just do the yardage on some of this stuff? And that's the type of stuff we're talking about doing on primetime for next season, just to make the biggest games of the week more explosive. And actually, that Monday night, I can announce here, we'll be doing a joint Monday night spectacular of sorts with the SFL and the UFL. Both games will feature VFN bingo, and both leagues will be able to benefit from both broadcasts. So if you're an SFL player watching a UFL game on Monday night and you win a bingo, you will get money into your bank. If you're a UFL player watching SFL on a Monday night, you will get boosts to your player, even though you're watching another league and another broadcast. So Monday is our chance to come together as a community, as a channel, because it's about the Virtual Football Network. It's not about competing products. It's not about which one's better or which one's not. It's about bringing us all together, and we're going to do that on Mondays next season. So that's just a little bit more in depth, Tyler. Good question about what you can expect next season.
I like it. It's combining universes, to so to speak, and that's kind of cool, and showing what the SFL is to UFL members that haven't seen it, what the UFL is to SFL members that haven't seen it. So that's really cool.
And Robert, if you're sorry, Curtis, Robert, if you're in both leagues, then you get both benefits in both games.
Yep.
So.
There you go. That'll work. Okay. And so looking ahead is awesome. Let's look back just for a moment, because I know that you've seen every single one of these 271 games going forward. I know you put a top 10 together. Give me, if you can, and you probably have a favorite one or two. Give me your favorite moment from this season that was for any of the teams involved, including these two.
Well, one of them, Curtis, was a play that just missed the top 10, which was a game that you called. It was St. Louis and Dallas, Central Howes. You remember that first quarter touchdown where he broke like 3 tackles and ran into the end zone? And I was thinking about that one. I remember specifically thinking about that moment and thinking, golly, I love this league. It was such a fun play. It was such an exciting play. But, honestly, I think my favorite moment of the whole season was a personification of what this league can do, and that was Nate Hall leaving Denver, going to San Jose playing Denver a month or 2 later, and Nate Hall leading the charge against his old team and coming back and winning that game. I mean, you could not write a better script. It was unbelievable. And we've seen players that are not playing tonight impact this game with their boosts and drops win. We have seen players say in the middle of the season, I'm not happy here, I want to change of pace. And not only did we find them new homes, but we also found players on different teams new homes, and it worked out better. It worked out better for both sides and for both teams. And so seeing what the offseason holds and seeing what we can do in our first season, I just appreciate the fact that everybody understood that, hey, this was our first go at it. We're going to try some new things. We're going to do some different things, and we're going to make adjustments, and can't wait to see what the offseason holds, and can't wait to be back in 2026.
I like it. I like it. I don't want to call this a beta season, but there was definitely some tweaks and adjustments that we can make in the offseason to make it better going into 2026. Cameron Irvine, thank you very much for the time, and good luck in the second half, as you will inevitably probably have to do something AI related. Should be a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Tyler. We have another half of football coming up. Before we get to it, I want to take a time. Give me one key for one of the teams that they have to focus on to bring themselves the title.
All right, let's go with Dakota because they're from my neighboring state. Here's what the game plan has always been for Dakota. We get momentum, the ball starts rolling down the track, and it picks up speed, and it eventually becomes this steamrolling, hard-charging mountain of an offense.
Mm-hmm.
They need to continue to reconfigure that offense, to reestablish, to keep calm, to make it happen without them realizing who they are, without realizing what they are. If they try and do something that they're not, if they try and go toe-to-toe here with Dallas, if they try and continue to try and air it out, it may end up backfiring. Seitz has got to be a bigger part of this game plan going forward. He's got to lead the charge. And if that run game cannot get going, Dakota is going to flounder. But stick to the script. Stick to the game plan.
I like it. I like it. Wear down the Dallas defense and offense, as it were, if you're Dakota, and put yourself in a position to succeed. If you are Dallas, I'm looking at the time of possession. They need to keep the rhythm and make sure that they have a majority of possession in this football game. They are up 14-7. At this point, they have the upper hand, but Dakota is a scrappy team, and they can find a way if Dallas gives them even one opportunity. Travius James, Cameron Duty, they have to control the pace of play, have to wear down Dakota, and turn multiple minute drives in to keep Dakota's offense off the field. That's a key for me. If they do that, then Dallas may end up being your 2025 UFL champion. But the time for talk is done. We have one more half of football to go. It is 14-7. The Dallas Talons are one half away from becoming UFL champions for the first time. To call that half, Eric Vincent and Josh Circle back on the other side. Have a good half, everybody. Enjoy it. We will see you back here for post game, and we will go from there. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
And welcome back to Las Vegas, everybody. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Tyler. A great halftime show there. Eric Vincent alongside Josh Zirkle. 14-7, the score here as we resume play from Las Vegas, the 2025 UFL Championship carrying on. And here we go for the second half. Dakota down one possession, and they will take a knee to bring it out to the 25-yard line. Josh, what does Dakota have to do to get themselves back in this ball game? It's already a tight one, but they can definitely make it a much more interesting game with a score here.
I thought Tyler hit the nail on the head. I think they've got to stick to their bread and butter. Liam Seitz, conspicuous by his absence in the first half. Not a lot of volume for him so far, so he is going to be fresh to the second half. Can you get him to the second and ultimately the third level running the football?
Flag on play action. He wants it deep. He unleashes the dragon into double coverage, and it is incomplete. What? I thought for a second that Mike Coco was going to come down with that one.
Wow, that was, from the replay, it looked like he had a handle on it, but that was a remarkable effort. But once again, Mike Coco bracketed into oblivion by the Dallas defense.
Brings up a 2nd and 10, going back to the ground game. Liam Seitz trying to turn the corner, nothing doing. 3 different Talon defenders waiting for him at the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 3rd and long.
And I don't know when Liam Seitz started watching Barry Sanders highlight videos, but the jump cutting and the spinning are not working for him. He needs to stick to the north-south truculence that has served him so well.
Play action, flag, pocket collapsing around him. He wanted to go deep, but the pressure finally got there. Time ran out, and Dallas gets a 3 and out to start the second half.
And that's Kenny Thomas taking advantage, and just entirely too much time to hold the football. Trying to find Mike Coco. Guess what? Mike Coco's still not open because he's being double-teamed. He can't find anybody else. Or he did find somebody, or maybe he's just trying to throw the ball through the goalpost. He could have done anything at that point. Kenny Thomas saying no, sir, and brings him to the turf.
First sack of the evening for the Dallas Talons, and it couldn't have come at a more opportune time, forcing the 3 and out and getting the football back to start this second half of play. Good punt here for the Rhinos. Both punters have been busy tonight, and both have been performing admirably. That one returned to the 28-yard line. No gain additional there. Cameron Duty coming out 13 of 17, 181 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that first half of play. And Dakota did a good job making them one-dimensional on offense, but Cameron Duty has been playing great.
Yeah, just making really smart decisions with the football, quick decisions as well, just like that one.
Just like that one, and James just not able to hold on to the football through the contact. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Dallas, not to tear my rotator cuff, patting them on the back, but the game plan that they installed for this is just working so well. If they could get Travius James more involved in the run game, it would be a complete takeover.
Play action again on 2nd down. Firing towards the top of the formation, finds Neil Rivers. He had an active first half, and continuing that here in the second half with a first down. 5 catches, 89 yards.
And when you're Dakota and you find a way to take away Travius James, you find a way to kind of lock down Rashard Lockley. Neil Rivers is the kind of guy that has to step up, and so far he has.
Travius James looked like he had a little bit of forward momentum, but Mordecai Pfister coming in and surging him backwards. Still going to get the 2 yards on the play, though.
Yeah, so far this Dakota line still holding up very well, kind of what we expected, but can they maintain that for another half?
Only 3 down. Walls checks into the ballgame, and he takes advantage of the only the 3 down lineman, I should say, and a gain of 11 yards. Best rush of the night for the Talons.
Yeah, Walls taking advantage there. Nice show of agility. Nice handoff, no wasted motion, no sidestepping. Just an off-tackle sprint into space. And Dakota is going to have to stay on the field on the defensive side.
James checks back into the ballgame. 1st and 10. Duty, 3-step drop. Fires a quick slant over the middle. He was looking for Lockley, but it hits the turf incomplete.
Yeah, Lockley only with a couple catches in the first half, trying to get him involved here in the second half. And those 5 and ins are kind of klutzy and can't always do much with them, but with a guy like Lockley, that might be the only way to get him involved at this point.
Going back to the ground game with James. Similar results as we've seen virtually all evening long. 14 carries, only 30 yards for the star running back.
Yeah, this Dakota line starting to tighten up a little bit, and now a 3rd and long for Dallas. And going empty.
3rd and 7. Gonna fire near the sticks, and a great break up there by a corner, and that's Rob Kuhn, who went ahead and just swatted the ball away from Lockley, forcing the 4th down.
Yeah, this is a matchup we wanted to watch, and really hadn't had much to see at that point until Kuhn swipes that ball right out of Lockley's hands. Great route, great catch up by Kuhn. Just saying no, sir. Knocks that ball away, and now Dallas has to punt.
Rick Kuhn playing admirably there in the first half, continuing here in the second. So 2 punts here to start the second half off. And a sky ball, and that's a great punt. They're going to down it inside the 10, mark it down at the 7.
And you saw the fair catch trying to get off for a little misdirection to the Dallas special teams. And you see the unique UFL rules, but that is a universal down ball inside the 20, inside the 10, any way you cut it. And now Flag, who watched his offense, participated in his offense going 3 and out. Now he's got to find a way to get some yardage and get it quick.
We'll see if the Dallas front 4 gets into his lap again. Flag quick fires there. It's good completion. Gets him some breathing room out across the 10-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by the Dakota offensive line picking up the blitz. Flag did not need a lot of time to throw that ball, but the time he needed, he got, because Dakota managed to pick up the blitz from Dallas.
Mario Nixon with the catch. Liam Seitz with the run. He breaks free, breaks through a defender. He's off to the races on that far sideline and gets out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Great run by Liam Seitz.
Nice Liam Seitz run we were waiting for. Just explosive speed. A little jump cut there. I guess I can live with that. Around the right side. Nothing there. Makes The defensive back miss and nearly gets to daylight. If it wasn't for a touchdown saving tackle, poor Corin Foxworth has to watch that happen. And then Sheldon Hastings making the tackle that may have saved 6 points.
Corin just got shook out of his cleats on that one. So a fresh set of downs as Flag finds an open man in the middle of the field. And it was a similar play as the first half, but Aiken's able to hold on to this one now.
Yeah, but another fresh set of downs for Billy Flag and friends. And this is Dakota's worst fear. Dakota starting to find a little rhythm on offense.
Flag, another crosser, another completion. Billy Flag starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm. And you hit the nail on the head there, Josh, and they talked about it. Chris and Tyler did in the halftime show. I mean, this is going to be Dallas's worst nightmare, is if they allow Dakota to creep back into this ballgame. It's like Dallas might be sending the corner blitz. It's picked up. Liam Seitz surging forward and gets a fresh set of downs for the Rhinos.
And the paint by numbers 5-yard runs between the tackles are kind of what would concern me the most if you're the Dallas defense. Because if Liam Seitz is able to do that the rest of the second half, Dallas is going to be in trouble.
Flag, good clean pocket, fires, far sideline catch is made. Tony Horn with another catch. He had a touchdown grab in the first half, the only points on the board for the Rhinos, and they are within striking distance in the red zone.
And look at the offensive line. Everyone is matched up on a defender, whether it's a lineman or a blitzing linebacker, and Tony Horn is able to find a huge pocket in that zone and able to come down with the football. Tremendous gain. Great job all around by Dakota.
1st and 10 from the 17, 2 wide towards the top of the formation. Flag going to keep it on the ground to Seitz. Getting bottled up, but surging forward, getting a couple extra yards, and he'll push forward to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, Liam Seitz in the red zone, a weapon you'd love to have, somebody that can batter and bruise a little bit. That is not somebody that anybody's looking forward to tackling.
Little pump fake going back to Seitz, trying to find a little bit of room. Good open field tackle. Couple yards shy of the line to gain, bringing up a 3rd down.
Yeah, this Dakota offensive line really getting the upper hand here in the trenches the last few plays of this drive. Getting a great push and giving Liam Seitz the holes he needs to get yardage.
Lions checks in the ball game. He gets the carry, and he surges forward to get the necessary yardage, giving the Rhinos a goal-to-go situation from the 7.
And look, I know offensive line play is not the sexiest thing, but look how far these Dallas defenders are being blown off the ball. It's 4 yards, 5 yards. There's a great look at it right there. Look at all the pushing and shoving that Dakota is imposing on this Dallas front 4. That's a big reason why Liam Seitz is finally starting to wake up.
That's A.J. Higbee, apologies, with his first carry. 5 wide, empty set, fires for Flag, an incomplete, dangerous throw. And he's now sitting at 50% completions.
Yeah, and Flag has been known to be a little benevolent, particularly on this end of the field. Got to be smart here.
They want to go heavy, play action. Good clean pocket, going to check it down to Seitz. Again, I think Flag just had nowhere to go and had to force that one to Seitz, even though it was tight coverage.
And remember, last week against LA, Dakota had 1st and goal at the LA 6 and could not punch it in. Red zone woes have haunted them in these playoffs.
Going back to the empty, Flag is just going to tuck it and run. He's trying to get to the end zone. He'll slide and get in. Touchdown, Rhinos.
Well, that's one way to do it yourself. Billy Flag, nimble of foot again, and again has time. The offensive line doing its job. And Flag, the linebackers, is he running? Is he not running? He didn't want to give up his defensive assignment, but by the time he figures it out, it's too late. Flag is already in the end zone, and sliding in safe at home. Scores what will be the game-tying points pending this effort here.
He's doing it and doing it and doing it well as Horn adds the extra point, making this a tie ball game. 12 plays, 94-yard drive for the Rhinos to even up this ball game at 14. Absolute banger of a drive, and I've got another banger bonus number for you. Wee woo, listen up. Bonus number is 41. 4-1, 41.
It's 14 backwards. I don't know if you knew that.
There you go. That's another way to remember it, just in case. But man,
guess what, Eric?
we got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got ourselves a ball game. Jake, you owe me a Coke.
Ah, dang it. You got me with that.
But this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the offenses sort of germinate over the course of the game. We wanted to see how risky Dallas would be with the football, especially with the score being snug as it is now. And we wanted to see if Dakota could maintain deep line pressure over the course of the second half. We're going to get answers to a lot of those questions on this drive.
And now the script flips. Now it falls on Dallas. Can they maintain the pressure that they had in the first half? Dakota already showing that they're getting themselves back in the ball game. What does Dallas do now, being knotted up at 14 with under 3 to go here in the third? And not a good start there from Cameron Duty, as that's incomplete, second down.
Yeah, Duty has resolved to not take any sacks here, and I think that is a very prudent measure. You can see the blitz. I'm not sure if that was Suki Padre or not, but Duty just had no choice to throw that ball or get killed.
3 wide going back to Walls. He's had success running the football here in the few carries he's had, and he gets another chunk play for a first down for the Talons.
Yeah, Walls maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit shiftier. It's a sample size of 2, so you don't want to take too much away from Tre'Vius James at this point, but that is a monster hole running him around tackle. I'm sure Tre'Vius James could have run that just as well, but it is interesting that the backup now has 2 runs for 2 first downs.
Total yardage battle much more even as we get another carry, this time from Tre'Vius James, who gets near the line to gain, a gain of 9. And it's now 234 to 202. Total yards in favor of Dallas. It was 106-5 at one point there in the end of the first quarter.
Probably the second best run for James so far tonight.
Slant play, catch made by Grady, had a touchdown grab in the first half. And another good grab there, another great ball from Duty.
And I just love the poise that we're seeing out of Cameron Duty right now. We've done a few of his games, Eric, and there has been some times where he's been particularly jittery. And maybe he is jittery here, but jittery in a positive way. Jittery looking to get the ball out of his hands. And Freddie Grady, wide receiver too, has made some grade A contributions to the offensive effort tonight. And that catch certainly among them.
Yeah, Grady's definitely been captain clutch for them when they needed it. 5-step drop. Duty sets his feet, fires a wide open Grady on the near sideline, and that is another catch.
Grady, of course, who had the first touchdown in this game. It gave Dallas the lead. Looks like we're getting a challenge here.
Yep, Dakota throws the red hanky on the field, and we'll go under the hood to take another look at this one. In real time, it certainly looked like he grabbed a little toe drag to get himself that second foot. And I'm
from
not
our
seeing
vantage,
anything to the contrary.
Yeah, from my vantage point, I thought he had it. And I think this will stand. And I think this Dallas offense will continue to hum on as time winds down here in the third quarter.
And after the review, it looks like the call is going to stand. So a catch for Dallas, a lost timeout for Dakota, and they will have 2 remaining for the remainder of regulation.
Probably not the best use of a timeout there here in the second half, would you say, Eric?
No, definitely not. Not at this point, I would say. And just given how this game is going, I would want to hold on to all of those timeouts as Rivers gets another short catch there for a gain of 1.
Suki Padre putting a hurt down on Rivers. And Padre has just been all over the field, playing pass defense, protecting against the run. Fantastic game out of Padre so far.
3 wide for the Talons. Single back is Tre'Vius James. Play action. Duty in trouble. Fires, finds a wide open man. And that's Lockley, who gets himself inside the 10, setting up a goal-to-go situation from the 8.
That's a big catch from a big-time receiver. Lockley doing dirty work over the middle. Duty looking down the barrel of a blitz, and Lockley right there, finding a seam. Just like that, it's 1st and goal.
Shad Lockley over 50 yards receiving. He had a slow start there in the first half of play. Started to heat up a little bit when Duty was starting to find his connection. And now the Talons coming out in a heavy formation, 1st and goal from the 8. And they will not get the play off before the end of 3. Get your 4s up in the chat. We got one more quarter to go here from Sin City. The 2025 UFL Championship is live on VFN. Eric Vincent here, Josh Circle there, Cameron Irvine back at VFN headquarters. On the ground goes James, avoids initial contact, and gets dragged down near the 5, mark him down at the 6, 2nd and goal.
And this would be a tremendous coming out party for Travius James. I think going up the middle definitely play here after we've seen some successful rushes on this drive. And we've seen Travius James beginning to wake up here a little bit in the 4th quarter.
Duty, end zone wide open, one-handed grab. It's Neil Rivers. Dallas retakes the lead.
Neil Rivers didn't need both hands. Finding his way open, and that's a little too easy if you're the Dakota defense. Neil Rivers, he gets all 4 or 5 feet in there and gives his team the lead for the 2nd time today.
And that's the jug machines that you have during practice leading up to the championship game. And we've seen Neil Rivers make those one-handed grabs pretty consistently over the course of the regular season. Got one here in the championship game, and Dallas is back up by 7. Updated UFL bingo numbers across the bottom of your screen. 6 and now 21 added to that.
And what an answer from Dallas. Just marching down the field, 4 first downs, getting contributions from Freddie Grady, from Rashad Lockley, from your backup halfback even. Just tremendous effort, and everybody chipping in, and that's the kind of effort you need across the board if you're going to come home with the championship. You need contributions from people that you're not expecting. Right now, Dallas is getting that.
And Terran Walls, I think, kind of jump-started that rushing attack for Dallas and gave them a little bit of juice there in that offense and took a little bit of weight off of the shoulders of Cameron Duty. Big hit there near the 20-yard line, mark it down at the 23. And now Dakota down 1 possession once again in this young 4th quarter.
4 3-and-outs for Dakota in this game so far. And I don't think Dakota has to score here. They do have to score soon. But the worst thing you can get at this point is a 3-and-out. Got to move the football.
4 down lineman for the Talons on defense. Empty set here for Flag on 1st down. He's going to take off and run with it. Trying to find a little bit of space. Eventually slides near the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 29.
That's not a lot of contact you'd like to see your quarterback taking. But it is a good gain from Flag and gives you a chance to compete here on 2nd down.
Just take what you can get. Bunch receivers towards the top of the formation. Sights a sidecar right of Flag. He's going to throw and finds Tony Horn Jr. towards the top of the formation, far sideline. Short gain of maybe 1. They'll give him 3rd and 3.
And if Dallas is going to run a spy on Flag, which is not the worst idea in the world, those flat routes have to be open, but Flag's got to deliver a better ball to Horn than that.
3rd and 3. Flag. There's a dart in the middle of the field near the midfield stripe. Down at the 49-yard line. Billy Flag starting to heat up.
Hassan Boyer, welcome to the stat sheet, Mr. Boyer. That's your first catch of the game. And this little pitch and catch there right around midfield. I think I got the wrong roster there, didn't I? Isn't that Eddie Watson?
Yeah, there you go. That's Eddie Watson. I was about to call you out on it, but I was giving you a subtle jab with my eraser there on the back end of my pencil. But you took the bait.
You got 2 blue teams playing each other. I played 3/4 of mistake-free analysis.
And you know what? And that's great. And that's another great catch there for Dakota. Tony Horn Jr. starting to heat up as well in the 2nd half. 4 catches, 64 yards, had a touchdown in the 1st half.
Yeah, Tony Horn Jr., Mike Coco kind of go 1 and 1A in terms of value to the receiving game. Sometimes it's Horn Jr. picking up the slack when Coco is not being able to produce, or vice versa. But Horn looking extremely wide open there on that play, probably while Coco was double covered again.
Oxworth with the tackle, split backs for the Rhinos, 1st and 10. Just going to check it down. Tony Horn Jr. fumbled the football.
No.
And Dallas has the turnover. First turnover of the ball game, and it goes the way of the Talons, up by 7 here in the fourth.
Oh, you love to see a team win this game. You hate to see somebody lose it. Liam Seitz might have just done that. Coughs up the football, is able to make the tackle. But that is just a critical error at a time where Dakota could not afford one. And Dallas able to scoop that ball right back up. That's Jordan Palmer that got the recovery. And Dallas finds themselves in the driver's seat.
And Julian Heim, the linebacker, able to strip that free from Liam Seitz. Just a little check down, and right when Dakota was starting to heat things up, Dallas cools them off. Under 9 to go in regulation. Dallas up by 7. Duty to the air. Fires over the middle, catch made by Rivers. He's got a first down.
Rivers might be in the running he might be the front runner for my MVP vote at this point. Dude has made monster catches, just hit the 100-yard mark. Tremendous contributor tonight.
Heavy set, play action. Duty's got to get rid of it, and he's going to go down. Swallowed up by, guess who? Mordecai Pfister getting in there and making the sack.
And you knew it was just a matter of time, and Duty waiting a little bit too long here. Play action. And able to come in through the B gap and send Duty to the turf. And credit where it's due, Dallas had held off the Pfisters for 3 quarters and change. But maybe it was just a matter of time before Mordecai or somebody got in there and put Duty down.
Play action again. Duty going to get sacked again. This time from the corner blitz. They went ahead and sent Trey Montgomery.
Yeah, completely unpicked up. You see he's in the slot, and Duty can't make the hot read fast enough. Isaiah Taylor was there. He's waiting for the ball, and Duty couldn't quite find him. And Trey, that's what you dream of as a defender, just a blindside hit. Quarterback doesn't see you coming.
Big response for the Dakota defense, setting Dallas back heavily here on this 3rd and forever in 3 days. Julian Heim beside himself after getting the turnover and watching what his offense is doing with it. 3rd and a country mile. Blitz picked up. Duty has to fling it towards the sideline, finds Walls, but out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down.
And credit to the Dakota defense for answering the bell, recognizing they had to come up with a big play, and they did. Not a lot of time here. It's going to be less than 7 minutes before Dakota gets the ball back. Billy Flagg running out of chances.
Another booming punt here for the Talons. Fielded inside the 20, brought up to the 21-yard line. And we've seen Dakota go on a long drive in order to tie the football game up. Now they're going to have to do it again.
Billy Flagg, those are pretty standard numbers for him. This is a run-heavy offense, and he's going to have to put the ball in the air here, at least a little bit, to keep the defense off his back. Here comes the blitz again.
57-yard net punt. Billy Flagg going to take off and run. He's got plenty of space. Down the near sideline, Billy Flagg out to the 50. What a rumble there for the quarterback, the old-school quarterback with the 1-bar face mask.
Absolutely magical. This guy does not care about his face at all. Look at him scrambling. He's like a gazelle. And look at the big block he gets right there. Is able to get to midfield. That was Tremaine Williams blocking for his quarterback. And just like that, Dakota almost in enemy territory. Now we have a flag.
It's going to be a false start. Going to move him back 5 yards.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Total yards, much different story now as Dallas just holds a 2-yard advantage, 283, 281. Flagg looking to change that, and he does! He finds Mike Coco inside the 25 to the 22-yard line with just about 6 to go.
And Flagg finally got the ball in that window to Mike Coco. Has time to throw. Seitz is in there to block. And once again, Mike Coco being covered by 2 different guys. But Billy Flagg careth not. Look at him just jam that ball in there. Corey Foxworth and Jordan Palmer could just sit and watch as Mike Coco hauls it in.
First and 10 from the 22. Flag. Pressure coming in his face. He's got to get rid of it. Instead, he's going to take off and run. He had success earlier in the drive, but he's met after a gain of about 5. Big hit on the back end there by Roberts.
And you got to start sliding at this point. The last thing you could do is put the ball on the ground again. The second last thing you could do is take a shot to get you out of the game.
Rhinos going no huddle here. A little bit of a mix-up here on offense to keep Dallas off guard on defense. Flag trying to find the corner. He does. He gets enough for the first down, setting him up with a goal-to-go situation from the 8.
And Billy Flagg, I don't know how he did it, but he faked out the defensive end who was supposed to keep contained. Crandon Williams just had no idea what was happening on that play.
Still no huddle. Flag, first and goal. Fires wide open, man. It's Tony Horn. Pending the extra point, we got a tie ball game again.
Tony Horn Jr. with his second touchdown catch of the game. And this is as crucial as any. A clean pocket for Flagg. Nice little route to the pylon. Nobody there to cover him. Tony Horn Jr. brings it in. Catch it with your hands, kids. Don't pin it up against your body. Says, hello, Mom. Guess what? I've just tied this game in the UFL Championship.
Extra point is up and through. 21 all here in Sin City. 5:11 to go in regulation. The script has remained flipped. Dallas now struggling to deal with these pesky Rhinos from the Midwest, coming in from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, all the way here to Vegas to take on that incredible offense of Dallas, and they have performed admirably here in the second half after a sluggish first quarter.
Eric, this is the longest I've ever been in Vegas while still wearing my pants.
Kidding, really? Did you time that? Like, what was the record before?
I mean, I just kind of, played it by ear.
Oh, okay, got it.
I've been told.
I'm glad that you have your pants on right now, by the way. Got to keep things pseudo-professional around here.
Pseudo.
Touchback out to the 25-yard line. Cameron Duty's numbers right there. He's been great. But, man, they were given an opportunity on a silver platter and got absolutely dump trucked by this Rhinos defense on the last drive. Duty, play-action rollout, going to fire near sideline, too strong, out of bounds, incomplete.
Cameron Duty, maybe for the first time tonight, looking a little rattled. Doesn't have to carry the whole world on his shoulder. 5 minutes is plenty of time to saunter down the field and get even a field goal.
James with the carry, nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. You would think, Josh, with that formation, it was going to be just an inside tackle handoff. Instead, James bounces it to the outside, and Edwards made him pay.
Yeah, Will Edwards, just outstanding open field tackling. You'd love to see that out of your linebackers. And never gave that play a chance. I thought James had a chance to get to the corner, but Will Edwards denying him outright.
Another third and long here for Dallas. Duty, play action. Gonna heave it. He fires an absolute rocket, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Freddie Grady, who had a step, but it was just a little bit underthrown. Fourth down for the Talons.
I mean, that was there. That's a great ball from Duty. That's a great route by Grady, and it's just the defender, that's Tim Holloway, catching up. Just watch him close at the last minute. Underthrew him just a little bit. And at that point, Grady can't find the football, and it bounces to the turf. But, man, just a little more on that ball, and Freddie Grady is gone.
That was an absolute rocket that Cameron Duty threw, and it is all for naught. 21 all, still tied with 4:17 to go here in regulation. Dakota surging in this second half, an opportunity to take the lead. Another great punt from Dallas, 54 net, marking him down at the 24.
And I feel like we're right now in the Billy Flagg zone. You got 4 minutes on the clock. Liam sights in your backfield. Half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses. Here we go.
Just describe a plot line from The Hangover?
No, that was not The Hangover. Are you kidding me right now?
That sounded pretty along the same lines, you know.
Little less recent than the hangover.
Okay. Handoff. Trying to get to the line to gain, and Lions will get close, and they'll give them the first down.
Here we go. Dakota starting to march. And the clock continuing to run. That's the biggest part of it right there. Opportunity being pulled away from Dallas off the scoreboard.
Back to the air for flag. 7-step drop. Floats one there, and that gives Roberts enough time to track down Tony Horn for a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, Roberts benefiting from the fact that that ball was just a little overthrown. Horn's got to come up and jump for it. Loses some momentum there. And Roberts able to flag him down. Nice tackling. There's been outstanding tackling in this game for both teams. And that's made the offense stymied that much more. Thank you, Tyler Shelby, Blues Brothers, absolutely.
Yes, I was just about to say he set me straight on that one. His sights gets hit in the backfield. Another loss of 1, 3rd and 11.
And now, does Billy Flag put the ball in the air here? And how aggressive do you be if you decide to do that?
They've had success in this formation. Bunched receivers here. 2.5 to go. Flag, 3rd and 11. Just going to check it down to sights. He'll try and rumble forward for as much as he can get. And we're going to get a timeout from Dallas to preserve a little bit of time before the 2-minute warning.
And this is not a bad spot of the field to be in if you want to try and punt it deep and pin them inside the 20 or even the 10 if you can. And we'll see if they decide to give Zach Wesley a chance to do just that.
We've seen both these punters kick the snot out of the football all night long, and this is another good one, just a little bit too much.
Wow.
Top spin on that one into the end zone and out to the 20-yard when we go. 2:18 to go, 2 timeouts for Dallas to work with.
And Cameron Duty might feel like he has to do all this himself. You see the numbers right there, very impressive in any game, let alone a championship game. And how much help can he expect to get from Travius James when the clock is not their friend at this point?
James is going to get the carry on first down, and he'll surge forward for a gain of 6. Good play there on first down, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes here in regulation. All knotted up at 21. This is all you can ask for from a championship game. This is the 2025 UFL Championship on VFM. Eric Vincent alongside Josh Zirkle here in Vegas. Dallas looking to take the lead for good. Slant pattern, caught past the 30-yard line. Mark him down to the 32.
And one of those things that long throw to Freddie Grady did in the last series, now Dakota is resolute on defending the entire field at once, which is going to leave a lot of stuff open underneath.
Talons go no huddle. Duty with pressure coming. Fires near sideline. Catches made by Neil Rivers. Clock continuing to roll.
Neil Rivers, once again, what is that? 5 catches for him. It's magnificent athlete. An elite performance from Neil Rivers tonight.
Maybe 5 catches in the second half. He's got 9 total for 112 yards. 2nd and 4. Duty's got to get rid of it. He's got to get sacked. That is absolutely what you couldn't do as Mordecai Pfister gets in for his 2nd sack.
And then second time Mordecai has gotten loose in the interior. And that's the second time Duty has not reacted to him. He's trying to get rid of that ball and just can't. Tucks it in at the last minute. And a great rip move from Mordecai as well. And if you play defensive football at all, you're just salivating over that slow-mo. Great sack for Mordecai at a perfect time.
Great play by the star defensive tackle, putting Dallas on their heels as they are trying to take the lead here in the 2025 UFL Championship. 3rd and 15, under a minute to go, clock continuing to go. Duty going to hand it off to James, and much like we've seen during the course of the entire game, he gets buried in the backfield. Timeout for Dakota. They will have 1 left.
Yeah, remember, they lost a timeout on that challenge at the sideline. Not a questionable decision to overrule a gain of maybe 10 or 12 yards. And so Dakota will have one chance to stop the clock here with 50 seconds to play. But it's looking more and more like we're going in overtime, Eric.
Another booming punt. Fielded at about the 10, brought out to the 15. 43 seconds, one timeout for the Rhinos to work with here to take the lead, possibly win the ball game.
Yeah, neutral site, so home or away doesn't really factor into the decision-making here. But I really do not expect Dakota to be terribly aggressive at this point.
Play action for flag. He's just going to take off and run. Didn't see anything he likes. Slides past the 20-yard line to the 22. Clock continuing to roll.
And you see our boy over there, A.J. Horn, who booted a 60-yard field goal last week in the conference final, getting warmed up. Will he be called into service here?
Flag, again gonna run, has wide open spaces in the middle of the field, stays upright and gets buried in the middle of the field at the 41-yard line. I don't know if they're gonna have enough time to run a play.
No, I don't either. You're gonna have to call timeout here. It's 5 seconds left. And it looks like they're gonna try and get a snap off.
They are. They're gonna get one more snap off. Clock hits triple zeros. Catch is made over the middle of the field by Mike Coco, and we are going to overtime. 4 quarters was not enough here in the 2025 UFL Championship, and we got to go to overtime. And you know what? Why don't we bring in our AI expert, Cameron Irvine, to go ahead and discuss our lovely overtime rules. We haven't seen the Cam tonight. Cam, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? So remember, it's the first touchdown to win the ball game. If you don't get a touchdown, then the game continues, essentially. So it looks like Dallas is going to get the ball first. I also want to discuss the last couple of plays. So 3rd down and 15, Dallas ran. Why did they do that? Because they were at their own 27-yard line. So it was a down and distance issue. It was a field position issue. At that point, it's too risky to potentially stop the clock and give Dakota the ball back with 2 timeouts. Why did Dakota not call a timeout in the final seconds of the half there? It's because it was tied. Essentially, it's more risky to take a sack fumble or whatever the case may be, and so Dakota's just trying to get something quick, something easy down the field. Maybe something can happen, but because it was tied, that's why you didn't see Dakota go for it there. They'll play for overtime.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cam. We appreciate the insight, as always, as Taron Walls gets the carry there on 1st down for a gain of 7.
Now, Dallas has a chance to turn up the volume here just a little bit. If they get to the end zone, obviously they win the game. But if they have a turnover or stall out at any point, then Dakota has a chance to answer and win with less than a touchdown.
And that's the first time we've seen one of those stretch plays there. Go ahead and throw it out to the wide receiver on a bit of a screen. It goes absolutely nowhere, so now it's a 3rd and 3.
Where's Neil Rivers? Middle of your screen.
Duty instead going to find Freddie Grady, who has quietly been Captain Clutch here for this Talons offense, and he continues to do so here in overtime, extending the drive.
Yeah, approaching 100 yards and doing a great job of just getting separation from his defender. That's Tim Holloway, who's just had his work cut out for him. And Grady had a chance to stiff arm him for more yards if he hadn't been near the sideline.
Great catch to reach out from back behind him in order to reel that one in. Duty 7-step drop, going to go far sideline. That's Grady again. He's got another catch, another 1st down as the Talons work their way into Rhino territory.
Yeah, and as Dakota's focused on Rashad Lockley, it's really been Freddie Grady's time to shine, and now over 100 yards and just doing everything right. You got to think that somebody's going to claim Freddie Grady before next season begins.
Oh, you'd have to imagine. Absolutely. Especially given his championship game performance here tonight. That red line that you see, folks, by the way, is the field goal target range for Dallas's kicker. Duty doesn't care about that as he's going to air it out for Lockley, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, got to get Lockley involved. You got to get everybody remembering that he's on the field. Even if Cameron Duty's the only one that remembers. And I thought Lockley had a chance to come down with that.
Just barely into Corey Ruth's field goal range. Dallas trying to add, and they instead will subtract. The run game still struggling to get going here in overtime. It's now another 3rd and long.
And Rick Kuhn coming up with a tackle for loss in the what almost looks like a run blitz as he tops Travius James. Mordecai comes in for the save. But what a playoffs Rick Kuhn has had. Some literal game-changing plays, and that may very well have been one of them.
Game-winning plays as well, as we saw in the top 10 plays at halftime. 3rd and 13 now. Duty has to get rid of it. Running out of time. He's going to fire into traffic. It's picked off. Interception. First one of the ball game. Dakota moving their way down the far sideline and near the 50-yard line. Provost with a huge play to give Dakota the football.
LC Provost materializing with the deep ball, and Cameron Duty has not let a lot of these rip. Has time. The pocket is holding up, and he's looking for Grady once again, and Provost is just right there and then comes out and has blockers, and Cameron Duty's got to be the one to shove him out of bounds. That is a game-changing play.
And look at that, Josh. You had Taron Walls and Freddie Grady in the same area, just adding another defender into that cluster that was along that far sideline, and Duty just put in a bad situation and made it worse with that throw. And now Dakota only needs a field goal now to win this thing. First throw is going to be to Seitz, and that'll cross him across the 50 into Dallas territory.
You got to remember, with the bazooka stuck on the leg of A.J. Horn, they don't have to get too far down the field. That red line is as close as it could be.
Hit the UFL record 60 yards last week in the conference final. Flag, airing it out, near sideline, it is caught! Unbelievable!
Wow!
Tony Horn Jr. put that cape on him.
We might have to take another look at this, but this is an outstanding throw by Billy Flagg. Right on the sideline, right where only his guy could get it. And once again, Tony Horn Jr. hanging over that sideline. No review, apparently.
That is Superman right there with the red cape and everything. Inside the red zone, handoff goes to Seitz. And now Dakota just trying to center things up, hold on to the football, and hope to kick the game-winning field goal.
Liam Seitz has a fumble already. Keep that in mind as well.
2nd and 8. Flag throws, catch made, past the line to gain. It's going to be a goal-to-go situation here for the Rhinos.
Remember, Dakota has had some red zone woes, especially on 1st and goal. Frankly, I'm stunned to see Billy Flagg still throwing the football at this point.
I'm a little shocked as well. 4 wide, play action, Flag. Plenty of time. He's just going to take off and run, and he gets buried at the 3-yard line. Roberts with the tackle.
You wondered, is Billy Flagg going to tuck it and go? And he did, and I thought he had it. Roberts came in and stopped him.
3 wide, 2nd and goal from the 3. Handoff goes to Seitz. Seitz diving into the end zone. Touchdown Rhinos, and they are your 2025 UFL champions.
Liam Seitz, untouched into the end zone. The Dakota O-line holding him off, and Seitz jumping for joy. And why not? The Dakota Rhinos are your UFL champions for 2025.
Absolute banger of a ball game here in Vegas as Dakota comes away with the hardware. 27-21 final in overtime. Josh Circle, any final thoughts before we toss it back on up to VFN Network to take the postgame show?
Just an outstanding game, an outstanding effort by both teams. Congratulations both to the Dallas Talons and the Dakota Rhinos. Tremendous viewing experience. I'm glad all of you in the chat were able to watch it with us. And Eric, I'm glad I got to call it with you once again. What an absolute banger of a night.
Couldn't agree with you more, my friend. Dakota rebounding with seeming ease. It was a knockdown, drag-out fight, but man, the way they responded there in the second half was absolutely fantastic, and it culminated in a championship trophy, their first championship appearance and their first championship trophy for the Dakota Rhinos. And both of these teams will definitely be back in the next season, in the 2026 season. I am absolutely out of thoughts. I am out of words, but I want to thank you all for making this a historic season, an inaugural season for the UFL. Here's to many more. Here's to all of you out there that makes this league great. And we had ourselves a hell of a time as always. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the UFL on VFN. The 2025 UFL Championship going to come to a close after we toss it up to the post-game show. Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk have got you with all the reactions from them, and maybe we'll see another appearance from the Cam. It's only fit, right? We're finally at the end of the rope. Got to see the Cam. We only saw it once. We got to have it in the post-game. I'm putting it out there, Cameron Irvine. I know you can freaking hear me. On behalf of all my friends here at VFN, thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the 2025 UFL Championship. And as always, if you had half as much fun as I did, well, I had twice as much fun as you. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll toss it over to Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk with their reactions. Guys, go ahead and take it away.
Well then, that is a heck of a bow to put on the 2025 UFL season. Dakota comes back and in OT gets the job done. An interception sets up a Liam Seitz touchdown from just a few yards out. I'm Chris Curtis. Over there is Tyler Falk. We are just kind of basking in the glow of an epic finale to the 2025 season. Tyler, your initial thoughts on the second half, the game as a whole. Dakota did what we told them they needed to do.
Absolutely, and I think the other big thing is it took another three-letter organization, 50-plus championships to get an overtime game. We get 1-1. How's that for drama? How's that to say the game was tight? The teams were perfect for each other. They played so tight against each other. But what did I say about Dakota? Keep calm. Keep it rolling. It will come. They built it. It came, and Dakota win the ship. A brilliant performance from all involved. They did not panic. And Dallas, the Talons, they let it happen again. But this time, Dakota made sure that Dallas would not be able to respond. So the Talons find turmoil at the end, but the Rhinos run away with it. And that is going to be, there's going to have to be a championship rematch sometime in 2026. I cannot wait to see what happens in that game, because you know there's going to be some bad blood between these two clubs, and I am here for it. What a great game, all told. Dakota are your champions, and rightfully deserved.
I'm going to use this opportunity to, first of all, I do need to call out the $2 super chat from Anthony Strangio saying absolute cinema. That is accurate to what we just saw. And second of all, I'm going to use my executive powers that be to pull the Cam up from the grave, and I would like to have Cam come back on and join us for the post game. Sir, I want your reactions as well. This was an absolute thriller of a game from start to finish. Dakota gets the job done. I want your initial reaction coming out of that.
What a game. And
you're muted.
What a game. And I just have to say, I'm watching Dakota down the stretch, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, if you turn it, you're supposed to kick inside the 20. That's the code we have. Kick inside the 20, because now you're in the red zone, and now the field goal's under 40 yards. We have that code sprinkled all over the UFL back end, but I don't know that we've ever had an overtime game that started with a turnover. And that is probably a different area of code. What does a team do once they get a defensive stop following a turnover, right? Not a punt, but a turn. If you can believe it, there are so many different scenarios on the back end of things that there's a scenario for everything. Football is such a beautiful game. And that's one of those where I'm watching it play out in real time, and I'm thinking to myself, I know that we've seen it. We've seen teams get in the red zone, and they kick the field goal, and they win the game in overtime, but not off of an interception, not off of a turnover. And that's that just goes to show you 270 games plus a year's worth of testing, you still might not see something that you see in a championship game. So, there's plenty of opportunities to improve, but the most important thing that I always remind people is we can improve. Now let's talk about the game. Dakota coming back from 14-0 down. They only had 5 total yards at one point, 106-5. It was ugly. Billy Flagg was 1 of 9 for 2 yards. They couldn't get anything going. How about Dakota fighting back? And both of you hit on all sorts of amazing points early on in this in pregame. And I sit here post-game going, my goodness, the best in the business, talking about laying out this game and understanding these two teams and what was at stake. And both played true to their identities. And I got to tell you, Rashad Lockley disappearing in that second half and Rick Kuhn coming up and stepping up and making big plays. I don't know who the MVP is of the contest, but I haven't seen Lockley that quiet in the second half in a long time.
That's a fair point. I'd love to see chat's reaction and who they think the player of the game should be. You've got Billy Flagg out there. You've got Liam Seitz. You've got Rick Kuhn, who locked down Rashad Lockley for a majority of that game. Those are just 3. If you guys have any more, I would like to get your guys' takes, starting with you, Tyler. Your player of the game in this. We'll use that as influence to see if we can decide on one here.
Okay, I'm not going to go only just player of the game, but undoubtedly the player of the season, in my opinion, for the Dakota Rhinos. And it has to be Seitz. And here is why. At the turning point, Cameron, you called it. It was Seitz's first game, getting his first touchdown. Now he's gotten them to the UFL championship and to close out the season with the championship winning touchdown is indicative and probably one of the more powerful things about this league is you can come in during the middle of the season and you can make the change that is needed from your running game or from anywhere part of your team's identity. And Seitz was that for the run game. Yes, Flagg made a whole bunch of scrambles, and Seitz gets a massive nod for what he was able to do late on in this game to get him down. But had Seitz not been a part of this team, Dakota's not winning that championship. Dakota's not starting the comeback. So that's for me.
So we got Liam Seitz. I've seen a couple of inputs from chat saying Tony Horn Jr. Should be the player of the game for his 2 touchdowns, including that huge catch at the very end. Give me your thoughts, Cameron, on your player of the game, player of the championship.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, I think I got to go Billy Flagg, just simply for the fact that Billy Flagg did not make any mistakes tonight. It wasn't necessarily about what he did. It was about what he didn't do. He had a lot of opportunities, man. He was taking hits, and I thought, oh, my gosh, he's going to lose the ball. And Miles in the chat was talking about, hey, we're going to be attacking that quarterback carry next season. I mean, you can already see it. People realize that the kryptonite of a running quarterback is fumbling. And if you can hit him and cause that game-changing turnover, then that negates that. Dallas did not negate that tonight. Billy Flagg did not make the critical mistake. Dakota only had 1 turnover, a fumble. And it wasn't from Flagg. You could tell I'm at the end of my rope this season, but $4.99 super chat from Skip. Nice shirts, gentlemen. Congrats, Dakota. So there you go. We're all on theme and we're all on brand here tonight. So I think Seitz, for what for the mistakes he didn't make tonight, helped Dakota win that game because they were down and out really early.
You mean Flagg? Flag
Yes.
for the mistakes he did.
Yes.
I understand. Yep. I am on the court of Billy Flag as well. Horn and Sights, I think, were definitely honorable mentions, but and Rick Kuhn as well. But I think let's make it official, guys. Billy Flag, your 2025 UFL Championship Player of the Game, your championship MVP. And well deserved for, I think Cameron put it best. The mistakes he didn't make, the things he did do, the carries of the football, the accurate throws on the sidelines, including that one that put them into range to score in OT. I don't think it gets much better than playing like that in the second half of a championship game where you have to come back from a couple touchdowns down. So, a couple touchdowns down. So great work, and that puts a bow on it. Any final thoughts, starting with you, Tyler, before we wrap things up?
No, what a great first season live here for the UFL. Couldn't have asked for anything more. Looking forward to 2026 and beyond for this great league.
Understood. Cameron?
You know, the most common thing I get the very next day after a championship is, all right, when do we start? And I think, oh man, I don't be that person. give me a minute. Give me a sec. For those that don't know,
give him 72 hours to decompress.
I produce every single game that you see on this channel outside of the great job that Alex West does in the SFLM. It was literally 0 to 271 change. And hey, we get things done on this channel. We say we're going to do something, and we do it, and we did it. What a great season in the UFL. Give me an opportunity to decompress and get everything ready to go for the off season, and can't wait to re-engage with all of you, restart that hope, and get all back to 0-0 and do it all over again.
I like it. UFL season has a bow on it. It's a pretty bow, and it's one that has Dakota winning its first UFL championship. It was a slobber knocker, to say the least. 27-21 in OT. Your winner, Liam Seitz, with the game-winning touchdown. For Tyler Falk, for Cameron Irvine, for Eric Vincent and Josh Zirkle, who did a fantastic job on play-by-play analysis, I'm Chris Curtis saying goodbye and goodnight from everyone here at VFN. Happy season end, and we look forward to 2026. Have a good night, everybody.